Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. That's right. We are live and we are ready to go. We are amped up. As you can tell, there is a lot going on. We are the Wrasslin for Life Network, and it's a Wednesday night. You know what that means. That means the dumpster is on fire, and we're here to talk about it. But with all that being said, there's so much news. There is actually a wrestling show of 2 hours of entertainment, but we got a whole lot of messy shit to get through first. So stay tuned, stay live, and let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and life is good unless you're Tony Khan and the boys. It might not be so good. But we will get there. Down. There's a little bit of a dumpster's fire, and we're going to get right into it. I see people already jumping into and filling up that chat. Let us know if you're just tuning in. What are you thinking about? What do you want to talk about? What is on? Oh, hands up, baby, hands up.
Tony's addressing the audience right now.
Yes, he is. Looking all squirrely-eyed.
Right. Fresh off a bag of
this is a work.
No,
someone's gonna come out and
so now we're getting a new World's Trios match between Death Triangle and the Best Friends. They're competing for the championship tonight.
Okay, so
the elites have been stripped.
Wow, the title handmade for them.
The Bucks, they got their present from Tony, got it ripped away.
Well, Tony's got no choice because the legal ramifications of EVP.
And we're having a tournament for the new world champion. Hangman Page versus Daniel Bryan, first round to face Jericho. Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin to face John Moxley. And it'll final place taking place on my birthday. Thank you, Tony, I guess. Yes! And all of this dumpster fire taking place on my birthday. I guess I finally got some win here.
Right? Well, I guess you get to thank Punk, right?
Right. Thanks, Punk. Someone not note that down because that's never can happen again.
Right.
Sorry, I stomped all over our intro. So
no, who cares? More important shit. Tony's talking. Everyone's already heard my preamble.
Folks, if you didn't know, that is the Iron Man of the internet, the Superman of streaming, Mr. Every Night, KJ White. I am the big bad booty daddy, I guess, of streaming, Mr. Big Nick.
We haven't used that in a while.
Right. The king of the what chance, the people's champion, the MJF, the CM Punk of the channel.
You can't be both the MJF and the CM Punk of the fucking channel.
Fine, I'll be Chick Magnet Punk, like the said,
with the scarf on.
Right. Oh, that's right. Speaking of the devil, and he shall appear. Literally.
Good. We need him. Tony needs him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, but why is this man not in the tournament?
What is happening right
now? The man who should have walked out of.
Why is he not in the tournament?
Facts. And he's coming out with a Josh Allen jersey. Thank you very much, as a Buffalo Bills fan, because they are in the great city of Buffalo, New York tonight. The only football team that actually plays in New York, by the way. But it's interesting. They've somehow made this man a babyface.
Well, because everyone loves him. Is Tony still in the ring, or was Tony still around?
No, it was a backstage thing.
Backstage. Sorry. I kind of wish there was a face to face between Tony and MJF.
Well, honestly. Well, I really liked that they played the voicemails and everything before he came out.
It was a nice touch. But then again, like I said, it kind of goes to prove where we're going with this. But what were you going to say?
Right. But the cheers and everything that this man is getting, like, wow, like, I'm just so surprised. I'm surprised that they've managed to so far do a compelling show with all the chaos that's going on.
Right. Well, they haven't done it yet.
Well, I'm compelled.
Well, there's a lot.
I might be partial in this, though, but
Tony Storm versus Penelope Ford. Yo, I got problems.
Yeah. MJF very much playing to the crowd, calling
hit record,
the
folks.
quarterback of all time. Do you think though that with him, like he should have still stayed a heel?
I don't think he had a choice.
Yeah.
I think if he would have come out and got some boos right away, yeah,
But so
I don't think.
What do you think about with Punk taking kind of a couple shots at him as well with the EVPs?
Well, I mean, what he said about him, I think, was pretty soft, right? I mean, and it was kind of a lob as far as, calling him a prick or whatever. It wasn't the end of the world.
I think it might have been him still trying to work an angle a little bit because he even kind of looks at Tony of like, do I have to right now? He's starting an AEW chant. Who had that on your 2022 bingo card of MJF starting an AEW chant after everything?
That didn't make sense.
I mean, this man's great on the stick, don't get me wrong. It just feels so weird. Like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Right? Still waiting for him to go the other way.
Right. It's
touche. He can cash in the chip.
True. Well, then he should have done that at the end of All Out.
It kept us all talking, I suppose.
That's why
I think if All Out ends with MJF with the belt and he's standing up in the corner, fucking, I don't know. Maybe it was Punk, maybe it was MJF during the press conference, and Punk doesn't get that moment. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Might have been better.
Well, I think that's part of why I don't think that this is a work, because they stomped all over MJF's return. So you're not going to stomp over your biggest, hottest storyline,
right?
For this.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I've read enough now where I'm like, listen, for the sake of Tony fucking Khan, I was praying that this was some kind of angle.
That he was a savant when it comes to booking.
Yeah, like they all got in a room and they were like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to act like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're going to beat the shit out of each other. When everyone starts talking about it, we'll work it into some big 10-man tag or, well, I hoped. But let's be real. We're talking lawsuits. We're talking injuries. We're talking suspensions and firing. And again, if this turns into, again, now we're hoping for the biggest fucking work ever, and it's too late, too deep for that.
Oh yeah, this has gone 5 ways to pass anywhere it needed to go, because that's the thing is you have to remember those are the executive vice presidents of the company, not just some guys in the locker room. That's management of the company as well. Mm-hmm. So that opens AEW for a lot of it, and especially with AEW, how does the network feel about stuff like this coming out right now?
The network, I think the conversation they have, and if Tony's any good at what Tony's trying to do, he'd have the ability to go, everything's fine, don't worry about it. But
so now we've got Moxley coming out right now, but that was fantastic though, and I'm still just kind of surprised by this face turn of MJF. Of he got the whole crowd going right along with him. I am Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and held the mic up, and the whole crowd went right along with, and you know it. He's somehow become the biggest babyface in the company.
Now that's a talent, like to really care. But they played the angle well, right? I mean, he got the the anti-authority fucking pop, and it's working.
He's the Stone Cold of AEW,
right? No, that's exactly what it is. It's that storyline, and to your point, that's where his return and how they did it, and it was supposed to be the big moment of the night, and all we talked about for the last 2 days is this shit show. Yeah, man, I don't think that was by design. And I mean, if you go back and watch that press conference, Nick, when Jericho comes on, his demeanor was different. He made some points where, listen, I shit on Jericho all the time. Good old Canadian boy, but he takes some heat from me sometimes. But he was right about a lot what he said.
Oh yeah, well, I very much still feel he's the anonymous source that says anything positive about Chris Jericho. But you can see during that whole press conference, you can see the moments where the security guard runs behind Tony and them, obviously because stuff's kicked off backstage. And then you see as they're like hugging and saying goodbye, like Jericho's letting him know like shit's popping off backstage. And Tony's still just the whole time just
Tony's like
he's physically there. His soul has left his body by that point.
No, I felt like after the hug, Tony was kind of like, "Are you good? Like, you're not going to punch anyone, are you? Like, you're good?"
Right.
Moxley just tell MJF he's full of crap?
Yeah, he just said, "You think I'm not being sincere here in Buffalo, New York? Right here in Buffalo, New York. And you folks are right here with the Wrasslin for Life Network." Got to get the cheap McFoley pop.
So I'm slightly behind you because I'm just getting that part now.
I feel a slight vindication because every WWE show you're ahead of me.
There it is. He's back.
He takes out the jersey, wipes his ass with it, and throws it in the crowd.
Oh man, he's fucking good.
Oh, he's the best right now in the mic. That's why my favorite wrestler right now doing it in my top 5, bar none. Top 5, top 3, top 2, top 1.
He just had the whole crowd, like you said, eating out of his hands, almost like to prove he could do it. Oh, you love me, do you?
It reminds me so much of Roman when he comes out and just is doing this the whole time. The crowd's booing him for 20 minutes.
Right. Honestly, what I think should happen here, dude, is mid-show, fucking Punk, the fucking Young Bucks, the whole crew, fucking get Cutlet and fucking whatever fucking the oily guy's name is. Yeah, send them all, like, just have them fucking melee. Like, have them, like, fucking fall through the fucking stage and stumble out and just legit go. Like, just have them fucking fight everywhere and turn this into money.
You got the problem though of like with the Edge and Matt Hardy thing of if you do realism too much, it burns itself out because there's still litigation that could happen. But MJF right now is shouting out Cody Rhodes and calling the crowd bums. Like, I've missed MJF on the stick, absolutely. Quoting my personal hero of the
game. The only con in wrestling that's worth a damn.
That's what's best for business.
He's fucking filthy.
Oh, this is what the wrestling world's just been missing. Just how people were when Punk did the pipe bomb and everything. Right now, just MJF on the mic, just feed me that into my veins. Like, I need that. I would watch that nonstop. Leave now or I will make you leave, is what Moxley said to Punk.
My imagination, or does Moxley look like Corey Feldman? I think we're the right Corey.
I'd have to look at Corey Feldman.
One of the two Coreys. Help me out here. You know the Lost Boys, right?
A little bit.
He reminds me of one of the Coreys.
Slightly. I could halfway see it. MJF even struggling. I love this. He's struggling to get his hand. Like if you've ever worn a button-up shirt, dress shirt, and you're trying to get your hand out of there.
Yeah, you're like, I should have
that. So it just tears it off.
He starts giving the fan shit.
Right. But that's the thing. That's the good, like, old South wrestling. Like, that's the Jim Cornette type of heel of, like, just doing the little shit that people notice, people poke fun at.
Right? Give the crowd a reason to laugh at you and then tell them to fuck off.
Right.
Yeah, we knew he wasn't going to fight. He's not giving that away. How do we feel about Moxley versus MJF? And again, how does Moxley just end up back in the title picture?
Because everybody else that's in the top of the pictures either asked for their release or has been suspended or might not be with the company after today.
Does anyone have a prediction out there or a guess, or is there any reports, because I haven't seen any, of how long said suspensions might be?
That's true. I didn't notice that. It's interesting, too, that they've been
Wait, sorry? Oh, okay. Everybody talking a little real. Even Moxley giving a little realism tonight.
I miss what he was just saying.
He was just saying he's embarrassed not to have the belt, but the way he kind of...
Oh, how he could buy yeah.
I thought he was initially going with, like, I'm embarrassed with what's happening, but...
Well, and we've got... Now, That's the thing is we said that tonight's 2 hours, and it supposedly might be wrestling. So far, we haven't gotten much of it. I think it might just be a lot of talking because we've had Tony Khan address the crowd, or the AEW Galaxy, as I like to call them, because the Galaxy is bigger than the universe. But now we've had MJF, we've got Moxley. We're supposed to have Jericho come out and address stuff. Like this could be just a bunch of promos. It's good.
I've been bagging on Mox quite a bit. I actually like what he's doing here.
This is honestly him putting it out there. That championship's the freedom to allow yourself to be as good as you can be. Like it's no one will ever say that Mox is, fucking Hemingway, but
but Mox needs to do more of this shit and less of the I'm gonna drink your blood and fucking
this shit while he's talking the whole time.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of his shtick, right?
Right, but just actually like have some bass in your voice, have some conviction.
Mm-hmm. And you like what I like what he's saying.
Oh, the crowd's chanting Mox right now.
And you know what? He genuinely does value that title. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, he very much values, like, that's the thing is he's one of those people that very much values being outside of the WWE sphere and still kind of, being in that realm. Like the man still actively competes in GCW. He's not doing that just because, he needs some money. He's doing that because he just likes to wrestle and just get in there.
I was supposed to be on vacation right now until about 2 days ago.
Calling Danielson a better wrestler than he'll ever be. I mean, he ain't wrong. But no, you're right. This is very much Moxley actually, it feels genuine versus the like, oh, I'm going to bite your forehead type of crap that he normally comes out there with. Like he sounds like he's half drunk.
Yeah. Like when he first got to AEW, when he was doing a lot of like the, I'm free and I was held down and that real piss and vinegar, like genuine angst that he had for WWE that came out in the beginning was good. And then when we kind of moved past that and he got into the whole, that other phase of that hardcore phase is just too much, right? Especially when you got Regal and Bryan, and then out of nowhere he's like, kill him, and you're like, whoa.
Exactly. Simmer down. This is time to be a legend as Mox drops the mic. But it's interesting. So for folks tuning in right now, we've already had the Elite stripped of their trios titles, and we're going to have a rematch between the Best Friends and who was it? Oh, Death Triangle. To determine the champion. And now we're getting a tournament that's going to end on Wednesday, 9/21. My birthday, folks. You better can be here. So we're going to get a new AEW World Champion crowned. And this won't be an interim or anything like that before. So both people have been stripped of their titles. Obviously, we know the Elite have been suspended. We don't know. There was a press conference or a backstage meeting, a couple actually, I believe.
Yeah, I believe there was a couple.
There's been a few. Where like specifically one with Punk and Ace Steel, regarding their situation with the company. So it's. We've only just begun, and it's going to just keep getting interesting. Yeah,
I hope our boy out there, CJ, is scouring the internet while we're doing this, because I'm afraid to look away from the internet and miss something.
That's the thing. Well, even honestly, through most of NXT last night, sorry NXT, not sorry. We still pretty much just wanted to talk about everything that's been going on with AEW. That's honestly our little private chat. That's been mostly what it is. If you've heard all these rumors of, you had your buddy there, Brad Shepard, spreading out the fake news that Thunder Rosa had asked for a release. We've had the quote unquote conditional release of Malachi Black. It's just been one chaotic news story after another.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked with Tony was like, Jericho will be here to talk about what happened at All Out. That big win he had. I was like, I didn't know he was like, we don't give a fuck about his win. What he was talking
no
about.
one cares about his win.
Why are you bringing up his win? We don't need his win.
And we've got Death Triangle coming out right now.
So is Death Triangle finally going to get a win? Like the best part of this, and the only thing that pisses me off, Nick, is even when they redo the fucking trios, the House of Black isn't available.
Right. Well, I was just thinking that. I was like, of course, though, that every time they do this, that, the actual best trios teams that they have either are backstage fighting their, world champion or are walking out of the company. Like, you can't use your best talent ever.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, if Death Triangle doesn't leave with this fucking trios belt, Pac better follow Malachi. Like, I'm telling you. All three of them can go.
I feel, though, like, because they're in Buffalo, New York, I feel like there's going to be some weird sort of thing to where they're going to have the best friends win. I don't.
Shut up.
Let me know. I'm the one who doesn't like Orange Cassidy. I call him the mascot of the company.
Jane is a shit entrance song.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
say it every time it comes. It makes me so fucking mad
horrible
that this fucking song comes on in the middle of a wrestling show.
It just kills the whole vibe. Oh, and they've got Danhauser with them as well.
Of course, because it's the fucking sideshow.
Right. Well, this is your pre-show stuff.
I'm not that negative. I kind of like Danhausen sometimes. And I like the fact that he doesn't over-wrestle. He is a character.
Yeah, he does what OC tries to do, just better.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he's just a shtick, and it's fine. Christ, WWE and Ron Killings is still a fantastic wrestler, but R-Truth is very much the running comedy. Danhausen would be fine in that type of role.
Yeah.
OC thinks he's actually a professional wrestler. You're not so.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we've seen that Cassidy can go sometimes. He's not completely.
So then pick one. Either you're a wrestler or you're a.
That's it. Like don't make a pin with your hands in your pocket and look like a fucking fit.
Facts.
But and I mean, I'm a huge fan of Trent Baretta, and I've been begging for him to have a heel turn for about a year. Like, come on now.
And so
he's being held down. Dude, he's a big, jacked, full-grown man. Looks like he can kick some ass. Looks like he's ready to go, and he's hanging around with Chucky T. Chucky T. And I like Chucky a little, but he's stuck in this little group with these guys, and I think he could be so much more serious.
Oh, absolutely. It's just...
All right, now the match is about to start off, folks. We got Death Triangle versus Best Friends. Put in the chat who you think is going to win, and I will take a second to remind everybody, we will be back tomorrow for Let's Rumble, our weekly podcast, doubleheader Friday, and the action doesn't stop. It's been crazy. If there's breaking news, something that goes insane, we'll probably pop on in for that too. So click that little bell. Make sure you're here. We do this for all the companies, all the shows, all the pay-per-views that we can get our hands on. We do not stop, folks. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Enjoy the family. We are for fans, by fans. And with that being said, as this match starts, Nick, I'm just going to click off some of these boxes.
Absolutely. Go right ahead because we're starting off with Orange Cassidy and Penta. So,
right. I'm a huge Penta fan. So,
oh, yeah.
Malachi Black is no longer with AEW. Got his release. It's a conditional release. So, yeah.
I think it's their version of like the 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard a bunch of contradictory reports on that of like it's all been rumored and speculated. Like AEW has not actually released anything. This is just being, I believe, reported by the most credible so far is Fightful.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the one thing about everything going on. Like, and I mean, I kind of talked about it earlier today with, like CM Punk shoots on Eddie Kingston shoots on Punk, like it was tied into all this, but it really wasn't. It was pre All Out. It was at the All Out Fan Fest. And I listened to the interview and I was like, okay, whatever. Like Eddie, like he kind of shoots on everybody, right? Like,
right.
So I didn't take all of it to heart, but everyone's correlating it. But there's a lot of bullshit floating out there.
Right.
Actually, the wrestling news, which is, we're fans of the other work they do. But they're actually doing a good job getting shit out. But I got a good amount of facts from them over the last couple of days, and no like fluffy opinion or anything. Just kind of here's what we're hearing.
Right. Well, that's kind of what you need at times with, I guess, wrestling journalists.
Right.
You need just no opinion. Just here is what happened.
I mean, fuck. Even us, you're getting an opinion. That's why you come here.
Oh, we're not journalists by any stretch of imaginations. We're pundits. We're personalities, perhaps even cult of personality, if you'd like to go that way with it. See what I did there, folks?
I got picture-in-picture, but there's a absolute yard sale going on in the fucking off the apron or
absolutely
ramp.
Yes.
Gary, good to see you. Damien, good to see you.
Yes, Damien, JV, Sean, Anthony, said Sean again, Edward, Jason. Everybody, hello.
Everybody, hey guys. I'm feeling we're gonna be left in a loop. I don't know, man. Ding dong. Hello, I'm back. Ding dong. We gotta get Chris a t-shirt. Ding dong.
Right.
Tony Storm.
That's how you know you're over, folks, when your fans start getting their own shirts.
Right. Punk is gone. AEW world title is stripped. Listen, I'm having trouble being like, really? He tore his pec? Really? You pulled a Cody?
You fight 3 dudes. You could have torn your pec doing that, especially fresh off a match like that. Like, that's the thing.
Am I wrong to think like Punk would do pretty well against all 3? He'd hang in there?
Oh, absolutely. But I do think it's funny that the Elite, the EVPs got to go on earlier on and everything. So by the time this all kicked off, they were very rested. They had ice, they had showered, cleaned, everything that they wanted to do. Punk literally just got off of having, some baked goods and some juice as he's, taking off his hand wraps, bloodied at a press conference. Just gets into his locker room and has 3 men walk up on him ready to fight.
Right. Now, I mean, good on them. I mean, if you're going to go in, I mean, one-on-one, I think all 3 of them are going to be in a pretty big pickle against Punk straight up. But some people out there are like, oh, yeah, probably no wonder they used a chair. They couldn't take the Jacksons. What?
The badass Elite. Well, did you see Bobby Fish challenge Punk to an actual fight?
Yes.
He's like, whatever we could do this, whichever way, I'll do it.
Yeah, no, he did. That was man, I've never seen, like, it really has torn, like, I wouldn't say torn, but like, I mean, you're divided on this. There's Punk followers, there's like, but even outside of AEW, people have like went, oh, fuck him, and other people have been like, yeah, like, I don't know.
At the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about Punk, I will admit I've been on this channel plenty of times before calling him, a whiny, over. He thinks very much too highly of himself at times. This isn't just an AEW thing. This happens quite frequently anywhere he goes. But he's not wrong in anything that he said about those people. They should not be executive vice presidents of that company while still being on-air talent. And they should absolutely handle that in a much more professional manner. And Colt Cabana was never actually released from the company or anything. His contract was going to just be like what they've done with everybody else in the Dark Order. They just let it run out. And then
Tony was going to ghost him like he does always.
Yeah, he was just going to, your contract won't be renewed. And then one of the Jacksons stepped up and said, and fought for him to get a position with Ring of Honor. CM Punk never commented on any of this at all. And then, that's when you start hearing these reports, mostly honestly from Meltzer and Alvarez and all of that are very closely tied to
right there
and the Elite. And all of these stories come out about Punk. Go ahead.
Pac just gave a back elbow to Orange Cassidy, and buddy, it looked like he got him. Like, it was stiff.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But then you had all of these, stories coming out about Punk was trying to get Colt Cabana fired. And then that's when, Hangman sat there and tried to stand up for himself and try and cut this nonsensical promo that made no sense. And I don't need to take advice from all of the creative minds that they have back there. Like, Punk's the professional in this, honestly. Even though, yes, he did shooty, but
yeah. But here's my thought on that, Nick, is as any person running a company, the last thing you want to do is have your employees publicly fucking air the laundry. My impression was, the person that asked the question, I don't know for facts. I don't know for facts who the person was, the reporter.
It was Nick something or other, because I honestly tripped out the first time, because when I first watched it, I was like, that's my name. Like, what?
Punk said my name.
Right. I was like, I'm a little bit on the vitamins right now. Are you talking to me right now, Phil?
Right.
But no,
3 close recount. But no, it was crazy because you had it's unprofessional for a Punk to unload like that. But based on how it came out, it was like he just finished the match and he was feeling good about it. And MJF was supposed to be the talk. And I guess if not, I'm assuming we saw it all. So the first question was, what about this? And he just it was like you let go of the fucking hose. And he just, it seemed like a guy that was pent up. Like, I've told this motherfucker 18 times and he won't listen to me. So now I'm going to tell everybody.
Well, I think it was more of just like, I'm tired of having to talk about this, of like, this is supposed to be like such a big moment, and this is what I have to address right now. And also going back to, he shouldn't have done that. And I get that. You can clearly tell that Tony is no authority figure back there. Tony has no respect, no credibility, no nothing backstage, because he was a deer in the headlights that whole time. And even Punk at one point shushes him. And he did bring up a valid point of, it's not Tony's place at times to step on some of that stuff, because it shouldn't get there with guys that are supposed to be EVPs of the company.
Right. But dude, right now, like me and you are on this channel. If one of us started fucking just shooting wild, the other one would fucking X us out. Like, it would just be like, click, goodbye. Like, that's kind of for Tony just to sit there and be like, and it was almost like, when fucking dad's ranting about mom and the kid's just like, oh no. And that's all Tony did, was just kind of like, okay.
Right. It's the kid like, oh, mom and dad are fighting again.
Right. And we got a hug.
I was going to say the best friends are on a roll right now. Oh,
the best friends win. I'm going to be upset. I really
will.
Pop-up
cutter by Fenix. Oh, big knee. But yeah. Oh, Pac with a stiff ass kick. This is just spot to spot to spot.
Normal guy. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Normal guy, baby. When is that guy coming back?
I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy.
Right.
Oh.
Clay Lewis, an Eagles fan. It's unfortunate. Edward, Sports Illustrated even reported this incident. Yes, it did. Didn't Dark Order beat Best Friends? Yeah, but are they potentially suspended too? Or
no, that's the interesting thing is two count by Fenix. But Hangman had already left the building because he wasn't needed for the post presser, so he wasn't involved. Like, that's going to be interesting. Is what do they do with them now? Because they're very much involved in this situation on at least the peripheral.
You know what the fuck you would be is you bring Paige back in and Paige becomes the champion again.
Fuck off.
But imagine, like, oh yeah, Punk there.
That's how you truly say that you're a mark company.
Oh, 100%. I can't believe this. Either can I. This match is good, by the way, folks. I know we're rambling a lot, but there's been a shit ton of action going on in this trio match. If you haven't predicted a winner, now would be the time.
I see James taking.
Oh, here it comes.
What
the hell just happened there? Whoa, Rick Knox forgot that he had to count a fucking pin. Did you catch that?
What?
It was like he was confused. Was he selling confusion? But it took the ref too long to get there.
Well, I think he's like most of the backstage right now, of just nothing but confusion.
Jamie, good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. Is that an orange or a peach?
Orange.
All right, orange. Why is Christopher Daniels suspended? He got in the fight. He joined in.
Well, it's anyone that was also around that whole situation. That's why Christopher Daniels is suspended. That's why Pat Buck's suspended. That's why Nakazawa is suspended. That's why Cutler is suspended as well, which he kept joking about how he's got, the Cutler cut. But even if that was on video, then that tells me that they went in there knowing that they were going to do something.
Yes, let's go. Wait, no? Did it change?
Red arrow. 1, 2.
So big on arrow. Did you get 3?
And you're new.
Yes. It takes Pac way too long to hit aerial moves.
Well, he's a stocky, beefy boy.
Right? It takes him a minute to kind of get settled. Nice. Man, it had to be Death Triangle. They fucking deserve it.
Yeah, like I said, I want a Death Triangle. It's Tony Khan, so I went.
Right? No, I don't blame you. It should have been House of Black.
Facts, really. If they had already ruined Malachi to where he wants out.
Yeah, I mean, that man's got to be frustrated. I mean, Malachi to me is kind of like, kind of like a Bray Wyatt story of like, they just won't let me do my art.
Right.
Somebody let me do my thing. All right, I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments back here. We blew up, folks. Thank you for being here. Right now, we're with the Dark Order, who got left out of the tournament. So Andrade's trying to buy another wrestler again.
He's just copying Tony Khan of just, I can buy all of the wrestlers. Just all of them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
You might be a tad loud, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, it's because Johnny Hungry started yelling. It's perfectly fine when other people were on. Sean, because I said back, I got hit. Wait. I said back, I got hit to this. You know how it's gone, so he's not going to rest. You read that one.
I'm on way too many vitamins right now. That's
like, am I high? What is
you just used the phrase way too many, like the same phrases way too many times and tried to make that a sentence.
So does this mean CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega have all been fired? No, Jason.
No. So far, technically, no one's actually been fired, I believe. I heard rumors and speculation at least of Ace Steel, but I have not had anything that I've seen that's confirmed that.
Oh, I see what I missed there. Okay. No, and I agree. And you're in a tricky spot now because people are talking about lawsuits. Now, if the EVPs entered that room, started the fight, and then you fire Punk for being in the fight, Tony's got a pickle because basically upper management just kicked the shit out of me and fired me.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, let anyone watching us right now go up into your job right now and
don't do
it. Just start fighting with your boss.
Right, but imagine your boss comes down and kicks the shit out of you.
Even the worst, your boss just shows up and starts kicking your own ass.
Right? Rips his tags, fires him.
The very first thing we should have heard in this whole situation is Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson have been stripped of their EVP titles in AEW. Have stepped on as EVPs.
That hasn't happened yet, though.
Oh, I know, but that's the first thing. We saw this, and again, I guess I got a mea culpa with Cody Rhodes there. He was very much the glue, as you can tell, that held everything here together.
Right. I don't know if he's as much the glue that held it all together, but he was definitely the voice of reason. But they didn't want to hear him either. And to Adam Page's point, we don't listen. We don't want to listen. We don't want to know what you think you know. We don't want to learn what you know. They don't have any interest in, can you give me more information? Like Adam Page went on the record of being like, no, we I think we're doing pretty good ourselves. But that's the problem where we talk all the time. You got, Regal and fucking Mark Henry and Flynn, and we can go through the whole list of talent they got there that are trying to help this business. But it feels like if you're not going to listen, if you're not going to learn, if you're not going to evolve or get better, then what are you going to do? You're going to keep doing the same shit. And even for your hardcore fans, that gets tired at some point. That gets old at some point. You have to grow. You have to evolve. You have to get better. Got that one already. I want my VHS shirt. I like that, actually. Might have to hijack that idea. I'm sorry, all 4 of them are. You are. Oh, yeah. If you get pressed by any one of those 4 guys. It's an interesting one, right? Like, I would imagine that if Punk threw a punch and connected with either Jackson, they're going down. Kenny's a bit bigger. I don't know what Kenny's background other than video games is. I don't think he has any actual fighting experience. So I imagine that, but still, 3-on-1 is just a lot. And if Cutler got in there and Daniels and who else, right? But listen, I will say this. Kudos for them for at least going. I mean, ballsy to do it. You knew Punk was going to be pissed. Yes, Pac kicked Danhausen in the face. In the face. Here comes Penelope Ford with the box head. He didn't even ask the question. CM Punk just brought it up and pointed out this gentleman for some reason. All right, there you go. So to stand corrected, thank you, Sleeping Angels. Yeah, I guess Nick didn't answer the question. You just saw Nick's face and was like, listen, I don't like you or your friends. Yeah, so if he just went off, he was waiting for it. Now, that adds to the element of whether Punk was right or not. And Punk has gone on the record himself as saying, whether I'm right or not, whether you're right or wrong or disagree or agree with your company, there's a certain way to conduct yourself. Maybe, just maybe, he got to that breaking point. And part of the way he was eating the muffin and talking with his mouth full and cracking wise, I held on hope for the sake of Tony Khan that this was all some kind of work. Now, really hard for me to sit here and go, yeah, it's probably a work. I honestly, at that point, things seem pretty chaotic and everybody's reporting it. We'll see. But for the sake of Tony Khan, I hope he's trying to pull off the biggest ruse in wrestling history. Because if not, he is everything everybody has criticized him for being, and he's slowly watching this company just drift through his fingertips. He's got it. He had it. It was going well. He was the darling. I told you, he was the Robin Hood of wrestling for the longest time, where stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, giving everybody an opportunity, keeping the indies alive during COVID. He's done a lot of good things. He's given us a lot of good matches. He's given us a lot of good a good amount of pay-per-views that we're big fans of. It was an alternative to the boring WWE. I'm not knocking what Tony tried to do. But again, if Tony's in a room and you just have that silo effect where you only hear what's bouncing around, then you're not going to get better. You're going to go, okay, yeah, Jericho, do every idea you think. And we saw Jericho coming up with creative ideas. Probably not a good idea. And we've seen it with other Young Bucks. That's why all their matches look the same. They need someone to step in. If you got people around like Dean Malenko and, like I said, all the other guys, where they could just stand at ringside. Okay, instead of doing that, why don't you do this? Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you actually sell? You know what? The heel tag team will get heat if they break the rules, which means that guy there in the striped shirt, your buddy, might actually have to get involved and act like he's actually officiating. But they seem pretty content with doing what they're doing. Can't knock it all, but all of a sudden, things just went sideways. And I can't, if Vince McMahon was still in charge of the other company, would that have led to, this seems like this was brewing and bubbling and bubbling and bubbling, regardless of what happened over WWE, where a lot of people are saying it's the Triple H effect and Tony's under pressure, so everyone's freaking out. But this feels like it was a long time in the works before that. Victor, Penelope Ford is fire. I will say this about Penelope Ford as I try and clear my throat. I'm in picture-in-picture, by the way, folks. Excuse me for that. But Penelope Ford in the beginning didn't bring much to the table for me. Obviously, I knew about, her and Joey, and then now with Kip. Didn't much care. But I've seen her in a few matches where she actually impressed me. Cutler, laugh my ass off. He looks like ID that trips and falls, and he can lose his shadow. He looks like if he tripped and falls, he could lose his shadow. JV, Brandon Cutler doesn't look like anything. Remember, he was a wrestler once upon a time? He actually tried to wrestle, had a gimmick and everything. What happened? Y'all didn't listen to the WWE references in the MJF promo. Yes, we did. There was a lot of them. I like it. I like what MJF's doing. And it looked like he was going to be a babyface. Decided to go another way with it. MJF has actually been one of the best things ever. And for anybody out there like myself who was like, oh, come on, this has to be a work. Poor Tony needs this to be a work. Everything that happened with Punk and the EVPs completely overshadowed MJF. Completely overshadowed MJF. And that's unfortunate. By the way, anybody make a prediction on this match yet? MJF is the best on the mic in a decade at least. What do you think, folks? Is my buddy Nick onto something here? Does he, is he really that good? Is he in the upper echelon over the last while? Some people have said he's one of the best ever. A little early for that, but definitely on the right trajectory. Dale's on picture-in-picture with me. Penelope is stretching Toni Storm, the new champion. By the way, are you guys out there happy about Toni Storm finally getting the belt? She's very emotional, and you can see why. MJF will be a career heel. Well, here's the thing, Gary. I don't necessarily disagree with that because that's definitely his comfort zone, his pocket. But on multiple occasions now, MJF showed you, including tonight, he can babyface it up with the best of them. He can dig into a babyface, no problem. Why not? So I like what he did, though. He waited. Everyone was waiting for the heel turn. Moxley comes out, starts talking, distracts everybody. And then MJF's like, oh, by the way, I'm a prick. And then got back to work. So, no, I appreciate MJF. I'm happy he's back. It's unfortunate because the hope was we would go into Monday and Tuesday talking about MJF. Did we like how they did it? What's the tie-in with Stokely? How does it all matter? There was so much about that. When do we get MJF Punk? What's going to happen? Now there's no Punk. Wow. Penelope went into the corner rough there. What does Victor have to say? And by the way, yes, Victor, the great one, is here if I haven't addressed that yet. The Bucks and Omega have been suspended, and a third party will investigate what happened, and that will determine what happens to Punk, either suspension or termination. All right, so Toni Storm picks up the win, ladies and gentlemen. No surprise there. Still your women's champion. Will Toni Storm be a better champion than Thunder Rosa? What else we got here, folks? Lots happening. Tony should have ended the media scrum. No more after party pay-per-views. And I know it's his company, but good Lord, this is giving nothing but a headache. No, if you think back to old school wrestling, like the press conferences were few and far between, first and foremost. But again, everything was controlled because what you would do is you would have the wrestlers in character, in gimmick, talk about what they were going to do. Talk about the pay-per-view. Talk about these media scrums. I get it. You're trying to make it sports feeling, which fine. But I don't like when Jericho sits down and he's like, yeah, we planned this out a couple months ago. And I hate it, honestly. And maybe I'm being too old school, too traditional. But like, you just watch you two beat the shit out of each other. And I will give him credit. Jericho Bryan was a pretty good match. I think Jericho pulled Bryan down a little, but overall, I liked the match. But maybe I'm being too, Santa Clausy with this whole situation about, kayfabe and not kayfabe. But to watch these two guys work it out, and then he come up to the press conference and say, yeah, we worked, we had this plan and this vision, and rubs me the wrong way. The artist formerly known as Lawrence Weaver, what do you got for me today? Are we still believing that this is not a work? Come on, people. And Caster says nothing. They don't even allow him to rap. I guess that's one way to avoid the controversial rap. Where's Lee? Let's go. Jericho is an ass kiss. Yeah, well, Jericho's a whole bunch of things. Scissor me. How is Scissor Me Daddy the biggest catchphrase in AEW? It's over. Oh, wow. Well, Swerve's officially a heel. I like it. By the way, Keith Lee makes me laugh when, listening to, Keith Lee and Swerve play off each other well, because Keith Lee really is Fraser Crane. He really is he could play Beast in the X-Men. Honestly, it's crazy. It really is. He's so debonair. Swerve cutting off Acclaimed. See, this is good though. The crowd's into it. Sister me, KJ. I was like, what? And Bones digs into this. So they're doing the rematch at Grand Slam. For those who don't know, it was hinted at, alluded to, and played about during the press conference. But it looks like we're going to get the rematch, which is going to be great. Swerve Lee versus Max and Caster at Grand Slam. Grand Slam's coming soon, which is going to be excellent. And I believe the Acclaimed are from the New York area, so the Grand Slam's going to be a big night, and I think they win it. I really think they win it. I hope so. I took them in the fantasy pool. Daddy Ass's house. Listen, it's so fitting that it's Billy Gunn because, the kid, guys, Scissor Me Daddy. It's just I got two words for you, right? He's been here before. He's got a good memory and a great physical trainer.
Yeah.
Mowing they shot for Long Island. There you go. What's up, Nick? How was the pause?
Nice little pause for the cause, absolutely. But yeah, no, you've converted me into an Acclaimed fan, and it was interesting to hear the boos for Swerve and everything.
Well, he cut off the rap. The fans are mad about the rap because the rap's become a stick. So, it kind of happened to Cena, right? Cena was a heel, and everyone's like, why is he doing this stupid rap gimmick? And then they got funny. And then everybody started waiting for the punchline, right?
Right. Well, and it's even how you said it's their way of avoiding him making a comment on anything that's going on. Because you know that was going to happen. That's somebody's got to bet somewhere going on.
Yeah, I can already hear, I'd be throwing the chair like Ace Steel, and everyone's like, ah!
Oh, absolutely.
Tony's like, fuck, nobody listens to me.
I've already seen all the jokes and everything, another one bites the dust, all of that.
That one made me laugh. But no. Oh, sorry, quickly. So they were talking here. I saw your comment about third party. There has to be a third party investigation in anything like this because it wasn't wrestler versus wrestler. It was EVPs versus wrestler. So you need a third party to come in and figure it out. And again, if all Punk has to say is, I was sitting in my locker room and they came in aggressively, and all bets are off. And I think he might not work for this company ever again, but he's not leaving for free.
Oh, absolutely. I've been saying this is very WCW.
Right.
But even then, you didn't hear stories about, say, Kevin Nash, who was head of booker and all of that, going into, say, Sting's locker room and getting into an altercation with him.
Well, hold on. Well,
I get, obviously, it's different time, different generation, but very much.
There's some really good stories. We did have like fucking Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels pulling each other hair out, and there's been.
To me, I feel like this situation's got even more crazy and chaotic than that situation, because even in that situation, you had someone like Vince McMahon who was in charge of that whole situation. And I know that's kind of a sacrilegious name to be bringing up right now in professional wrestling. But he actually at least seemed like an authority figure.
What?
In AEW, you don't have any sort of someone that's going to put their actual foot down on anything.
He needs, there's nothing wrong with him sitting as the boss in a nice big chair, feeling all powerful, and having guys in front of him making all these decisions, interacting with the Regal, you do this, Henry, you're this. And he just sits back, and all he has to do is what, Vince did a lot of. Was that say? Oh, I don't like that. Change it. Was that?
Right.
No, we fix that. And literally trying all right, you come to me with the shit you want to do, and I will let you know what's getting out there. But he should have a bunch of fucking people working on that.
Oh, yeah. The man has no creative team. And folks, we were back from commercial. We right now, or at least I have Jericho and Sammy Guevara cutting a promo with Tony Schiavone.
Yo, Jericho getting a pop. Giving us the man.
Jericho saying he's the best wrestler ever. Kidding me?
I found the fountain of youth. I kind of like this better than everything else he's been doing.
Well, did he just say the EVBC needs to end?
What?
I feel like I halfway just heard. He said something that sounded like that. He's not wrong if that's and that's I like that as a name. Even if he didn't say that, I'm going with that, because that's what it is. It's the fucking Bullet Club. It's them thinking that it's Punk hit it on the head when he said these are guys who couldn't manage a target.
Yes! What the fuck? By the way, Anna J, high five. Jericho just told everybody is his company, is his locker room, and he's sick of this shit.
Right, but and this, again, I'll go down this Jericho rabbit hole. How Taker was the backstage locker room leader for WWE. When did Taker ever come out and sit there and cut a promo and said, I'm sick of the bullshit happening here? No, he handled it backstage. He actually acted like an adult. He didn't try and work an angle still this whole time.
Sorry, dude. Danny's fighting tonight in Buffalo, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Danny's winning.
Yeah. They got a huge pop.
And joining BCC.
We're getting Sammy versus Darby on Rampage.
Okay. Is that must be part of the tournament? Look at these.
Oh.
Sammy's shouting out Jericho's abs. This is getting weird.
I feel like Jericho got some installed. Am I wrong?
It's the spray paint. They can't manage to do like the underarms or anything, but they can spray paint a set of abs on there perfectly.
Wait, there's I've been walking around with this belly all this time, and there's a can of spray paint that can give me abs?
Oh, absolutely. Spray tan.
No, all of a sudden he had abs.
Just do that like that meme there where you wear like a white t-shirt and just spray brown on the shirt.
Wardlow.
Right.
Yeah.
Wardberg. It's better than Goldlow.
I was going to say, I like Goldlow.
It sounds like gold dust.
Anthony says, I keep saying KJ, Tony is a nerd who invited all the cool kids over for the party, and now they're wrecking the house, and Tony...
Say it again one more time for the people. I've been saying
what?
This, and what? And then even you get, people have ran other companies into the ground who very much resemble this company, copying what I'm saying of this is Tony playing with action figures
Yeah.
in his bedroom. And just now, some of those action figures don't like each other.
Well, yeah, and you remember when you were a kid, you were like, somebody would walk by, some older person or something, and say like, "Oh, dude, why is fucking so-and-so losing to so-and-so?" And you're like, "Well, I like this guy. That's how this has been booked. I like the EVPs. They're going over everybody.
These are my friends." And I do like it. It's Tony feeling like the cool kid. It's funny in all of this how MJF's whole angle, the one that everybody initially thought was the shoot storyline, is the work storyline. To where everybody was when MJF was calling Tony a mark, and he hit the nail on the head, and that's those stuff that was a work, folks.
Instant Abs, 1995. I got to get on that. His action figures are going rogue.
Small soldiers, folks. Small soldiers.
Dale's got Wardlow. I think everyone's going to have Wardlow. Anybody picking Tony Nese? What'd you laugh at?
I said, have you ever watched Small Soldiers?
Yeah.
I said, I am CM Punk, leader of the Argonauts.
Man, yeah.
Right? That's the thing. I had to make sure you were going to get the joke before I said it.
Yeah, no, I would have got that. Some Tommy Lee Jones.
But no, it's great. But yeah, Wardlow is absolutely winning this match. He's already hitting one power bomb on Tony Nese. I think, let's see in the chat, like high or low. Before, I guess the line's been set at 4 power bombs.
Higher or lower than 4?
Right. We've already got 1. So going up for number 2, folks.
Oh, good comment by Trey here. Welcome to the show, by the way. Folks, I see a lot of people out there tonight. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. Join the channel. As you can see, the chat is all family, and we welcome all opinions. We're nothing but fun. We're nothing but positivity. And what are we at now? 4?
2. We hit 2, and then we got the pin. So very much, if you took the under in your head, I'll give it to you.
I thought it was. Oh, okay. I thought it might. Well, I looked away.
I counted 2. I might be inaccurate, but I think I counted 2.
Right.
Oh,
wait, we got more.
So I guess I'll give.
Oh, never mind. Sterling. So was the MJF Bibbins relationship like a one-time deal?
I think that's a thing that goes back even to, because I've seen the pictures, it might go back even pre-MLW and everything.
Oh.
So they do have that odd connection of there is a connection there. But it's interesting to do that. I think you could have, it's like a lot with AEW of you reach the same kind of endpoint, just the execution to get there could have been much better.
Bro.
Am I the only one that feels like this is a little bit like when everything was going on with Vince, of everybody now has to get on the mic and say something that halfway sounds close to like they're hinting at what the situation's going on?
I feel like they're all amped up, and you got to think if a big chunk of your company is getting suspended and fired and da-da-da, and there's people that are going to get TV time that weren't getting TV time.
Well,
right.
And
that was fucking excellent by Wardlow, by the way. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, and any of the critics out there of Wardlow, that was good. That was solid. That was believable. And, the guy had some big cojones to fucking.
Well, that's the most I've heard him on the stick and everything. But I think you've even brought up this point before of AEW won't exactly fold per se, because there's so much of a roster there. There's so much money, I guess, quote unquote, behind it, that it'll still go on. It may not always be the WWE competition that it pretends to be. But so now with half your roster getting suspended, especially your top guys, your EVPs, your world champion, have all been suspended, potentially fired. Now you're going to get those guys like a Wardlow that were underneath that are now they're moving to the main event.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the opportunity here. And again, if they had a powwow, and maybe it was Daniel Bryan, and maybe it was Jericho, maybe it wasn't, like Kenny and the fucking Bucks stand up and go, all right, guys, this is what we want to do, okay? We got to be better. But when people know it's the fucking they're part of the problem, you're kind of scratching your head. But when a guy like Daniel Bryan stands up and says, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Even Moxley, hey, this was supposed to be the fucking shit, and we're destroying it. And everybody seems to have a little more fire tonight.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah.
that's touched that microphone dug in. Even Moxley was good tonight.
Oh, Moxley was phenomenal. It's very much, this was supposed to be the quote unquote actual revolution. And instead, we're now getting everything's just falling apart. As fast as AEW was built, everything's falling apart just as fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now we're getting Daniel Bryan coming out to the ring. So we are getting, I guess, the first round, one of the matches of the first round for the tournament.
Burp.
So are we good? Yes. Danielson versus Hangman. Very interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Hangman, what they do in this match. Folks, if you don't have a prediction in this match, let me know who you're taking. This is the first round, and I guess the now new tournament to crown a new AEW World Champion, because they've stripped, if you're just tuning in, if they've stripped Kenny Omega and the Bucks of the Trios title. We just crowned a new champion with that. And now we've stripped CM Punk of the World Champion and Championship, and now we're going to crown a new champion. Nick, can you read my comment from before? Which one, Anthony, for crying out loud?
Wait, new rule. Anybody that says that, we're not going to read it.
How much of top talent in AEW has to leave because of toxic working environment before Tony's father pulls the funding for the company away from Tony, Nick, and KJ? All I'm going to say, and for all of the people that watch football or anything, and you'll get this reference absolutely. Shad Khan also owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. He let Urban Meyer go and destroy that team for quite a while. It took up to the point to where he was kicking a kicker. So I think that they're going to let Tony just go until he runs out of money to burn. We've already seen Jericho say to Christ, I can't remember who it was, but my boss has more money than yours does. So I think absolutely this is just going to go until it goes. And like KJ's even said, that there's a big enough roster there depth-wise that even right now, if you completely got rid of the Bucks, Omega, and Punk, who would still be interested and who would still want to watch AEW? I still would. I honestly would, because you've still got MJF, you've still got Jericho, you've still got Moxley, you've still got Danielson, you've still right now got Hangman. Right now we've got a test of strength between the two men going on in the ring. God, this is a hard decision, but I think Bryan wins. Sleeping Angels, yes, I'm going with you there. I think Hangman, even though he wasn't involved in the backstage situation or anything like that, he needs to go away. He needs to, anyone that has any sort of heat from this, anybody in the peripheral needs to step away from this for a while. This isn't a work anymore. This isn't good heat. This is go away heat. The biggest concern is the networks. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting part too, is how do the networks feel about this? Everything, you get those conflicting reports of initially the networks aren't happy with AEW. Certain dirt sheets put that out, and then the networks have to refute that, saying that, no, we're actually happy with AEW. They get the most ratings. They're very commercial friendly, long story short. But it's going to be interesting how they handle all of this storyline, all of this negative press. Danielson versus Moxley. Really, folks, where do you think MJF slots into this? Because to me, honestly, MJF has to end up with the World Championship at the end of all of this. And MJF cashes in on Long Island. Oh, I forgot, it's in Arthur Ashe as well. Tony, if you're out there listening, it's my birthday that day. So if you're going to make me pop, have MJF win the title in Long Island. Amongst all of this chaos, I want to see how that's going to go. Absolutely. Victor says Danielson, JV with Danielson. So a lot of people going Danielson. No one really going for Hangman. Dale's going for Hangman. And Trey as well. So mostly Danielson. I'm okay with that because, KJ saying, hey, man, you're just doing that to be the contrarian. What do you, I guess I'll ask this too, another conversation with the congregation of what do you guys think about Hangman's whole involvement in this situation? He very much feels like he's the straw that broke the camel's back in this whole situation, but has managed to skate under the radar with all of this. Of he's the one that was quote unquote working off script, the one that was, and we've got yes kicks in the corner right now from Brian Hangman all the way down to the bottom turnbuckle. But he was willing to, I guess, gamble the AEW's first $1 million gate for a rumor that Punk was trying to hold back Colt Cabana, the man who contributes fuck and all to this company, honestly. But that was big enough of a story that Hangman decided he wanted to go off script on all of that. So let me know what you think about his involvement in this whole situation. Anthony taking Danielson again. So Chris, KJ, Dale, and Trey, I think, are the only four that I've seen that have really gone for Hangman. I think everybody else is right there with me with taking Brian for this. Let's see. Hangman getting thrown into the corner. I think I'm about to get picture-in-picture right now, folks. We've got both men outside and Danielson with a nice little grin going on, and I'm in commercial break. So I will take this time as we are in commercial break. What? And you can, this is when you can get all your what chants out in the comment there, in the comment section there, Victor and JV and everybody else. Because my voice is too tired to do it. But we are the Wrasslin 4 Life Network. We are here covering anything and everything when it comes to professional wrestling. Fastest growing channel growing on YouTube. I don't even put in the superlative of wrestling, all of that. It's me, I guess the big bad booty daddy, Big Nick, Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Every Night Delight coming at you all the time. And of course, Mr. CJ Brand, the leader of the Brand Wagon as well, three-headed monster there. So absolutely. Whether you've been here for 5 minutes or 5 seconds, I greatly appreciate you tuning in. But we are here covering anything and everything when it comes to, all right, y'all guys ready for the chat? What's in the chat there? We're covering WWE, AEW, NWA, GCW, BCW, XPW, and assorted W's, all the W's, all the letters of the alphabet. So absolutely be a friend, tell a friend. If you're here tuning in for the first time, absolutely like, share, and subscribe. We are here anytime covering anything that's hopping off in professional wrestling, and you're going to get, our truest, honest reaction to everything. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. And when you're talking about wrestling, you better put that for life with it. Yes, I see all the whats. Even see there with a what. Yeah, I try to dial it down. I've gotten to the point to where I've started doing the what chance at the misses and everything like that. Mrs. Big Nick has had to deal with the what chance and everything. So we need to, tone it down a little bit. So I'll let y'all still get it off in the chats. But no, absolutely. There's no other people I'd rather be out here talking wrestling with and everything. Is not only with the two men that are normally side by side with me, my brothers from another mother's, but also all you fine folks in the chat. Yeah, shut up, CJ. I ain't releasing names. None of that. No. But I ain't even gonna give out my last name. So I mean, if y'all folks got a better name to, I guess call the missus there, I will not want the teacher. Yes, I've become the Bart Simpson of the channel, apparently. I guess I'll keep trying to get to this one. I need football picks for the weekends. I got a sports book to hit. Well, if you are going to any games this weekend, I will let you know absolutely, as if Mr. Producer Man might be able to help me out, but I got it right now. And it's not covering up my face this time, too bad. But absolutely, if you're going to any games, any concerts, any shows, any wrestling shows, anything like that, absolutely go ahead. Use SeatGeek. They will give you the best deal when it comes to getting your seats, and they will let you even get your view of what your seat's going to look like. And thanks to the fine folks at SeatGeek and the fine folks here at the Wrasslin 4 Life Network, If you use code Wrasslin on your purchase, you will save $20 on your first purchase when using SeatGeek and using code Wrasslin. And you can use those $20 to go ahead and check out our friend at altwrestlingtees. Go ahead on Redbubble. Go ahead and get yourself a What t-shirt. There you go. You can get your What t-shirt, or you can get your Mr. Every Night, the KJ White Saturday Night Delight t-shirt, or the CJ Cut the Shit t-shirt. So absolutely big things popping, little things stopping. Up to something season always popping off here. And I know even someone mentioned it about with Pat McAfee now going to college football, doing the Saturday morning game day every week now, officially 100%, since we're talking about football picks and everything. But I do still think Triple H has come out and said that he's that he's going to be part of the WWE universe still. Still going to be a commentator on SmackDown. Still teaming up with Michael Cole. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's been a good match. And I picked Hangman because I honestly think the funniest shtick of all this is if Hangman ends up with the fucking belt.
Oh, my God. Just
the only guy that didn't get in the fight, they're like, all right, you have it.
But then, again, you're playing so much into the smarky audience.
True. The Bucks are like, fine, we won't quit, but you give the belt to Paige.
Oh, God. Well, I think I saw somebody that was trying to say, does like Paige get kind of the Triple H treatment now after the
where he just jobs out for a year after the curtain call?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name for a second there. I know where it was and everything, but yeah, the curtain call to where he just jobs and everything like that.
Hangman couldn't match taters. I like that. Welcome to the show. Make sure you like and subscribe and join the channel. Join the fun. Thank you for keeping the chat live. We got Adam Page. We got Daniel Bryan. I see a lot of faces.
Oh, see, Miss Nick. There we go. Miss Nick. But I feel like that there. So, yes, Miss Nick is now how she will be formally introduced. I will let her know that that's now her unofficial title on the channel.
Vector, you got the shit. Who the hell is Vector?
Right, CJ, fix your typos.
I'm sorry,
the man who calls out every typo commits the ultimate typo.
All right, who the fuck is Vector? That reminds me of the fucking Snickers commercial. Do you remember who are the chefs? Remember that commercial? Yes. Was that okay?
No, I got you. Oh,
the guy wrote chefs instead of Chiefs in the end zone.
Right.
He needed a Snickers. Boom.
That's what Punk needed at that press conference is a Snickers. Feeling shooty? Have a Snickers.
Yeah, right. That's what someone should have got Punk and Snickers quick.
Right.
He had muffins. They didn't stop him from saying shit. Big kick by Bryan. But here, to the counter argument of what I've said about Hangman, Nick, you can't have Bryan lose again.
No, he just lost.
Fucking losing everybody.
Right. He lost to bum-ass Jericho.
And Garcia. Twice.
Yeah. Shit.
Was he working off script? Specifically Punk or who?
Me?
Or Jericho?
I don't know. That's the thing. Instead of what, it's who.
Yeah, everybody went off script. Paige went off script.
Right, everybody. There is no script. This Jericho is Tony Khan's company. There is no script.
It's funny because that clip that's going around from the Jericho cruise where Jericho and Cody are making fun of Punk for standing up and saying, I'm the locker room leader. And they're like, that. I'll send it over. It's fucking funny. So it's an old clip from the Jericho's podcast, but live on the Jericho cruise. And it's back when Cody was all friends with everybody. And they were making fun of Punk standing up in the locker room being like, I'm a locker room leader. And Jericho's like, man, you ain't leading shit. And so I think that's partly why Jericho just told the world, I'm the locker room leader.
But 2 count, but I think Jericho so delusional. To me, this has been WCW from the jump of just now you have all the delusional egomaniacs in charge.
Well, and part of that is because like the EVPs and certain people in power or certain people thought of in favor, they might not have contractual creative control, but Tony has no spine seemingly. allegedly, and allows them to just do whatever the fuck they want. So that is like creative control, where like the WCW guys had Bischoff hooked, right? Like even when Russo came in, right? I know we bag on Russo sometimes, but I mean, to that guy's credit, a lot of those wrestlers had no desire to play ball.
Oh, absolutely. That's even when we got that invasion angle. That's why they had contract agreements and situations to where no one wanted to come over. These guys were set, made in the shade with lemonade. And I feel like that's a lot of what the higher ups or the OG originals for AEW have set themselves up.
Right. No, it was funny because that invasion angle, like as a young wrestling fan, it was like, this is so cool. Wait, who?
Shit.
Wait, who?
A lot of this.
Well, fuck. Yeah. The WWE is going to win this for sure.
Right.
Punk is a diva.
Are we all?
Yeah. Sometimes, aren't we
but
all?
No, absolutely. Punk, this is a trend that's followed him from every company, from Ring of Honor to WWE. This has always followed him. Of the minute, and it's a double-edged sword of he doesn't stand for any BS or any nonsense, but at the same time, he's so quick to just go way off radar, way off scripts of do as I say, not as I do.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit interesting, right? Because the original problem is, some empty-headed twit decided to go off script, shoot, and bring up something bullshit. But in the same breath, Punk then goes out, sits down, calls him out knowing he isn't coming. Which, by the way, if I was Paige and I was in the building, fuck Tony, I'm going.
Oh, I'm absolutely.
Going. I may not go all the way down to the ring, but I'm coming out. Sorry?
No, I was just saying very much Punk's a fan of pot shotting. He's that fucking friend that'll just talk shit the second you turn your back or the second you leave the room.
No, he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder, and there's undeniably, like, he plays a really good heel because it's him.
Right?
We've seen it, like, I mean, going back years, we've seen it where, like, I mean, he's taking some chunks out of some fans, and some of it, like, vicious, right? He's got that bite to him, which makes him good. However, you got to be able to play well with others, and whether he's right or wrong, when you become the common denominator each time, like when people start going, wait, whether you're right or wrong every time, it's kind of like Cornette, right? Cornette has literally, you can go find a video right now of Cornette shooting on all the companies that he left. But if you look, it's 5-6 different companies, and he's the common denominator. So sometimes when you feel like you're the smartest asshole in the room and you don't find a way to do well with others, well, then they walk on you. And you look and you're going, well, they can't all be wrong. Somebody in there, you had to be a dick sometime, right?
Right.
So that becomes the trick, right? Now, does that justify his opinions and feelings and what he conveyed? No, but him being pissed off about something we've all been pissed off about. Dude, how long was I on here belly aching about the Young Bucks and belly aching about the Trios tournament and belly aching about the dodging FTR? Divas.
Oh, we've both cut, honestly, shoot promos on here about the Bucks, about them being EVPs of this company, about them. I've called them the Hulk Hogans of tag team wrestling.
Right.
This is very much, if there's a company that the wrestlers are the ones leaking dirt sheet information out of, it's AEW. It's not going to happen in WWE.
No, and that's the thing. Like, Tony needs a sense of control. Obviously, we got a problem here, right? And again, you see why it would build up, and then you see these little, like, it's like the sweater, right? You get that little, that little catch of wool, and you pull that.
Yeah, you get the one little string that comes loose, and then you start undoing it, and everything unravels. I've been saying for the longest time, and I'm going to keep harping on this because it's factual. This is WCW in the last years of its existence, to where anybody and everybody's taking shoots, working for themselves, just worried about me, myself, and I. And the leadership in charge has no actual authority in that. Punk's not saying all of that like he said at that press conference, and Brian with some big elbows on the top turnbuckle as it looks like he's going to do a super back suplex onto Hangman. But
this has been a hell of a match, guys. Don't get us wrong, and let us know in the chat, how are you feeling about this match? Have you predicted a winner? Let us know. Let us know. Lots of people here. Say hi. If you're watching right now, just say hi. Give us a thumbs up. Do something.
There's enough chaos going on right now in AEW. It's hard to call the action and not be talking about all the backstage nonsense. We've got a lapel lock.
Oh, big clothesline. And you're right. There's, we're trying to keep up with our friends in the chat. We don't want them to feel neglected. But this match is excellent.
Oh, that's the thing is right now, love it or hate it, AEW is the most talked about professional wrestling company right now. Here's the thing. This is the best time for it to be a thing.
Well, Nick, I mean, you and I and CJ have been doing this for a few seconds now, right?
No bad.
And we've watched the trend that Wednesdays were one of our quieter nights on this channel, right? Because this is a smaller fan base. However,
audience
over the last 3 weeks, it's growing and growing and growing on a Wednesday night here, and it's been fun to watch. And because all we're talking about right now, that's where I said, if there was some fucking miracle that this was a plan, a plot, and everybody, when they had their big fucking team meeting, they said, all right, we are already having problems. Let's squash the beef, but they already think we're fucked. Let's try and blow this up, and everybody will be talking about us. That's a living on a prayer, buddy. Right?
Oh, that's riding by the seat of your pants. That's,
Urge.
Oh, well, no, it's one of those of going down in a blaze of glory of this is either going to save the company or end the company one way or another. And I feel like if that is the case and they somehow manage to right this ship, then we're back in the Attitude Era, folks. Hate to tell you, I know that's an overused phrase and all of that, but if this is somehow in any form or fashion of work, this is the closest we'll ever get back to the Attitude Era. But to me, this is 100%. We're seeing the nails go in the coffin. Folks, start picking out your finest funeral wear because I don't think AEW makes it out of 2023.
Yeah, and I quickly want to say hello to Grandmaster, hello to Trey, hello to Lawrence, Anthony, Victor's here, UK Graffiti Walker, welcome, Alexander, welcome, Edward. I know a bunch of you already said hi to. Rocco's here as well. I love seeing the regulars back in. I love to see the new faces as well. But yeah, if you're watching right now, don't be shy. Who's going to win? Daniel Bryan or Adam Page? You can either put a D or an A in the box if you don't feel like typing. Or just
pause. What about putting a D in a box? Pause.
Don't put the D in the A, though. Be careful.
I love that. I set that up and just slam dunk.
Oh, two. Holy shit. Another close one. And I swear, we get to this chat. We don't leave till we do, for the most part.
Oh, trust me. Well, that's the thing is we've been itching this whole time. It's been more of honestly that, we do still have a full life going on around us and everything, folks. But it's still been one of those, like, we've been just itching to want to talk about this. Trust me. In our own little private chat, we've been nonstop about this whole thing of just, here's what I've got. Here's what I've got.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? Here's what I've got.
Yeah, no. Who are your sources? Who's
right? We're fact checking ourselves now.
Yeah, no, because we got to know. We want to know, and that's where we.
Well, that's the thing is there's so much going on. It's literally you have to know what's factual, and what's not.
Knee. We got a bocce knee.
Sounds like a new Japanese restaurant, bocce knee.
Yeah, we went to the bocce knee last week.
Right. You went to Benihana? No, I went to bocce knee.
Bocce knee, not Benihana.
Oh, powerbomb on the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, yeah. Let me know. Are you guys liking this match or what? How you feeling? It's a Wednesday night. It's hump day. We put hump day in the books. Tomorrow, Friday Junior. Then we're back on Friday. The weekend is here. It's upon us, folks. You can almost feel it. Wait for it.
Oh. Most devastating move in professional wrestling, the roll-up, and he bridges into it. And Brian Danielson moves on.
Yes.
To face Chris Jericho again.
Ironic. Nice. That was a hell of a match. And I like the finish.
Oh, that was a good match. Right.
That you can do that finish because then it leaves like shit. Paige did really good and one move could win. Right?
Right.
Hell of a match.
It's a way that you can eat it out and still not drop too far. So now we're getting Chris Jericho versus Daniel Bryanson. And then we're getting Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin on Rampage. And then the winner faces... Shit, I just missed it. My microphone got in the way.
This is funny by CJ, though. He kind of did.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Great match. Jello blow. Oh, I like what you did there. It took me a second.
What?
Jared.
Oh, went ahead, look smart.
Ding.
Oh, Jello actually
regular dad. Welcome.
Looking into high school, sitting in a high school, like it looks like where he belongs.
Right. Won. Red Dragon wins. American Dragon. Red Dragon might not be with the company anymore. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, one half's gone and one half's injured. So
I heard he got a fused.
Yeah, he was. Well, it was having neck fusion,
and they always get nervous about that neck fusion. So,
well, cheese and peas, obviously,
absolutely.
That's the biggest non-starter I feel, and the biggest waste of talent. With AEW is Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. Injuries have just plagued that whole thing.
Right.
Well,
and I do think, do you think there's a correlation here? Like, you get guys like Fish and O'Reilly. Now, Fish had injury problems pretty much everywhere he went, but he'd been all right. But when you're doing you're flying around the way these guys are in AEW every single week, and some of the guys aren't as seasoned as it could be. They're botching quite a bit, and there's a lot of injuries. Where if some of these matches were dialed back a little, we wouldn't kill everybody.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think that's even part of what happened with Punk and all of that, and what happened with Kenny with his tactical turtleneck is we worried about Tony rushing too many people back quickly from injuries, because that Papa Paul effect very much made him feel like, okay, I got to step up and see what I'm doing here now.
Right. Now, hear about UK Graffiti, one of the new faces in the chat. Great to see you, by the way. The most talked about for the wrong reasons. Now,
facts.
You ask a lot of people, but that's the thing. Controversy sells tickets, period. Oh, sorry. Got distracted.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
But yeah, no. Sorry, completely thrown off there for a second. But controversy sells tickets, and you have an opportunity here. If you are Mr. Booker of the Year, it's your challenge is now, because when you first started, you had the honeymoon phase. And in the beginning of AEW, even though there was some stuff, a lot of wrestling fans were like, what the fuck? It was still the alternative to WWE. It was still the alternative to the boring. It was still the alternative to the same shit we've seen week in and week out, and a whole bunch of commercials and a whole bunch of useless promos and characters that never go anywhere. So he got that grace. And again, he's been the darling of wrestling. So now, Triple H comes aboard. The pressure turns up. A lot of fans that were either casual or peripheral or just kind of sitting idle, all of a sudden are paying attention a little more to WWE. Triple H has definitely changed up the feel, the dynamic. They're getting more headlines, more buzz. Oh, it used to be, who's going to be at AEW next week? Who's going to be at AEW next week? Now it's, who's returning to WWE? Who's going to WWE? The narrative has changed for everybody, including EC3. Hi, bud. But yeah, literally, there's been so much swing. This is the opportunity for Tony Khan to put his shit together. And if he wants to run around bragging about Booker of the Year, kind of like winning a race when you're the only one running it, then this is his opportunity to prove to everybody, I'm not just a money mark. I'm not just a nerd. I'm not just a rich kid that had shit handed to him. I know what I'm doing. I'm a wrestling fan. I can get this right. This is his chance. This is truly where he can step in and change the game. And he's got to. He's got to pick it up. And if he can't personally do it, he's got to put people around him that can. By the way, I'm back from commercial break. I got Bibbins, Stokely Hathaway, well, he'll always be Bibbins to me, with his faction, Morrissey Ethan Page. Lee Moriarty? Wait. Oh, okay. So the production is trying to cut him off. There's the Ass Boys. So was Bibbins just paid to get the chip? Is that what happened there? Undisputed Elite is done. Yes, it is. UK, welcome. Appreciate the love. I'm calling it now. BCC finals for the AEW World Title. Danielson, Moxley. That's the match I'd like. If we're gonna get Moxley back there, then I want Brian to have this belt. I think Brian is buzzworthy. I think Brian will do it justice. Whether he wants to be the snarky heelish Brian or the happy-go-lucky Brian, he's over. He gives you good matches. Let Brian have a run. We've seen Mox. We know what we're going to get from Mox. They're literally beating the shit out of this production person. What you think, they got to, be careful. CJ Brand, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the members here at the Wrasslin for Life Network. He's welcoming all the new faces out there to the channel. Fastest growing YouTube channel. Exactly. Please be sure to drop a line on the video and subscribe to the channel. That's right, folks. I'm heading to a commercial, and like CJ said, subscribe, like, join. We're one big family here. The family is growing by the minute, and we have so much fun. There is nobody putting out the content the way we're doing it. We are live almost every week, 7 days a week. Some weeks we take a day or two off, but not many. We are here 340 days a week, a year, not a week. It feels like it sometimes. We do all the pay-per-views. We do all the shows. This weekend, we just did a marathon stream where we ran, what were we on, for like 17 hours in 2 days or 3 days. We do not stop. WrestleMania comes. We'll be on here for 30 hours in 3 days. We'll be exhausted. We'll be tired, but it's all worth it. It's all fun, and it's all in the name of wrestling. If you are a wrestling fan, this is where you should be. We'll keep you up to date on the breaking news. We'll give you all the shows. We got more original content coming. We have more interviews coming, more special guests, more fun. And yeah, why not have the wrestling fans that you can't find in your real life come here, chat. We'll get deep and dirty, pause, with all the wrestling news. And right now, it is a great time to be a wrestling fan. You got one company blowing up. You got another company, happy as can be, who just recently blew up. You got a bunch of other companies in the middle hoping it helps them somehow, some way. But yeah, folks, it's a crazy, crazy time in wrestling. And yeah, man, we're got about 20 minutes left in AEW Dynamite tonight. Woo! I subbed. Yes. Keep it going. Keep it going. What? Oh, I wasn't clicking the button. Appreciate the what. Claudio versus Dax on Rampage. Whew, sign me up. It's going to be a good match. West Side Gun. What is... All right. KJ, what happened to the faction that looks like Action League now? The one with Parker and Kiss. Yeah, what the fuck happened to them? I don't know. Dark? I'm guessing Dark. That's a decent faction around MJF with Morrissey, Page, and Cargo. Right? I mean, that's dominant, but is it an act? Like, they didn't really touch on, and did I miss it? Are they together? Anybody know why this is happening in my life right now? I guess the dude, Buffalo. It's Buffalo. So Danny Garcia got a special live entrance. Good. It wasn't just me. Any young folks in the audience know what the hell that was? I'm liking tonight's show so far. It's been a good show. Good show, good energy, good promos, good vibe all around, guys. It really has been a decent Dynamite. I've enjoyed it. Great matches. Paige and Brian were good. And Paige is never a guy that really got over with me. I don't dislike him, but I just don't cheer for him. If that makes sense. I don't, man. But again, a couple really good matches with Brian now. And the door's open for a rematch, which one day we'll probably see based on all this. But here comes Wheeler Yuta without a big introduction. No such thing as bad publicity for most part. There is a line with that, regular dad. But to your point, yeah, controversy sells. And everybody, again, if you were worried about Clash at the Castle and all the things that happened there, we're going to steal the headlines. Well, here you go. Everyone's talking about AEW right now. Granted, I think Tony would rather everybody be talking about MJF, but you're still dominating. You're turning eyes. People are tuning in. People are tuning into places like this stream and Instagram sites and websites and Twitter, because everyone's just trying to soak up the neck. Oh, what else happened? Who punched who? Wait, someone got bit? Like, and then you see the debate. So Punk sucks. The Bucks are babies. Punk's a baby. It's chaos right now, but it's got people paying attention. All right, folks. Let me know who is going to win this match. I know who he is. Or I know who he is. It was a rhetorical question. Okay, thank you. I didn't answer it. That was a cool theme. The instrumental, not the rapper. Okay. I think the important part was backwards there. I got 5 on it. I should have known. We got to keep him on point. Garcia has to win because he's a pro wrestler. Snubs JAS, face turn, and joins BCC. Interesting. I think Garcia wins. He's one of Tony's golden boys. We see Garcia every show. Every show. It was rhetorical. Now look who's stupid. Daniel Garcia for the win. Have they rated the ship enough? Yeah. I mean, in the sense that, and I think we talked about it, a lot of people were concerned, like, oh, shit, AEW is going to be bankrupt or AEW is going to be defunct. They could literally lose an entire wrestling company that Freddie Prinze Jr. is hoping to buy. But you and still have enough wrestlers for 2 wrestling companies. Like, they have a shit ton. Welcome back, Nick.
Absolutely.
We're answering Nick. Well, Nick's here.
So. Of course, coming.
You want to take this one, Nick?
But no, I liked exactly what you're saying, and no, I now especially I never really thought about it until you mentioned it, and it's a great point that they could cut off, as they honestly kind of have, the whole top part of their roster and still have a good functioning company. Right. It's called Impact Wrestling. It's called NWA. They could cut off a giant chunk of that. Like, think about it. They still have Ring of Honor. What are they going to do with that?
Well, and you still have that talent there. And then I think what becomes the opportunity is you're freeing up space for booking other guys. So we're getting good matches. And what if? Okay, so now we're getting more Wardlow. That's a good thing.
Right.
Now we're going to get more, we got Brian tonight. We got Moxley on the TV tonight, which we've been consistently getting them anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, now we up their time. We put them in different places. You have the opportunity now. Look, instead of having, I wasn't thrilled with the Bucks and Omega having the trios belt. Now the belts are on someone I like.
Yeah, it was predictable. That's the thing with that.
So there is an opportunity here. And like I said, while you were away, is Tony's got to step up to the plate, though.
I guess even with my question right here, though, is how do you think with tonight actually being good? Because we literally I specifically have called this whole company right now a dumpster fire floating down the middle of Main Street. do you think that they've righted the ship enough, or at least we're trending in the right direction of, like you said, of that they've got enough talent, they've got enough of a roster still that they don't have to focus on these people. And now Tony's forced to, all right, you're done focusing on these people. The Bucks, Kenny, Punk, they don't exist anymore. Those are gone. Those are going to be in lawsuits. Those are going to be getting, court documents sent to them. This is what you have now. Do with that what you can.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing where it does force you to kind of look at things differently. Like where Tony was like, okay, rinse and repeat, and what do you guys want? Okay, now Jericho has to step up and give a little better. I liked Jericho tonight. It was weird to fucking say. It's been a minute since I enjoyed Jericho doing anything.
Disagree.
I didn't mind his little speech tonight, and I did take some little Easter eggs out of it. Royal Rumble in San Antonio, Dell says, one of our great fact checkers out there. Superdome's going to be good.
Well, and even then, I still think through our conversations today and everything, you might end up seeing potentially one of us being at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio. Right. And you could also get there if you use code Wrasslin on SeatGeek and, save yourself $20 on your first purchase, especially because I know Survivor Series is coming around the corner, and that's, just around the corner from me.
Right.
And trying to get seats to that was just tough. So be a friend, tell a friend.
Right. Jericho is having the biggest identity crisis in wrestling history. Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Right. The man's been having a midlife crisis for about. That's
kind of what it was. Now. Right.
Right.
And Jericho definitely listens to his critics, man. Like, 1 week the critics are shitting on him about his hair. Next week they're having a hair versus hair match. Like, or, he's got a better chrome over, or he dyed it a different color. They're making fun of his muffin top. Next thing he's fucking 2 weeks later, he got abs in 2 weeks.
All right. I'm going to tell you no, that he listens to his haters and his detractors and everything. Because if he did, we wouldn't be getting him on TV every night.
Oh, shit. Snap. Well,
right.
He's pretty good.
I think he just thinks that he is, as he's tried to book himself, the greatest professional wrestler
there you go.
Ever. And
so wait, wasn't he a sports entertainer? Now he's the greatest professional wrestler ever?
Greatest wrestler, or however he wants to phrase it. I mean, the man, I think it's really, he wants to go back to WWE. I think this is all just, Hunter, please sign me. Please call me.
So wait.
Dear Paul, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
I'm a little, hear me out here. This is the main event, correct?
Right.
15 minutes on the clock, or 12-ish.
About 10 minutes now.
Okay, 10. You had Paige and Bryan go on second last because Danny's from Buffalo?
Unless we're going to get juice, and we're going to get color, and we're going to get this very much becoming a BCC fight, which I think Garcia can do. I think, like I said, we do get that touching moment. And I feel like it's become a trend in professional wrestling now of when companies are pressed against the wall, whether it be WWE with half their wrestlers allegedly stuck on an airstrip in Saudi Arabia, or now with the dumpster fire that is the AEW locker room, that they managed to pull something out of their ass. They managed to actually right the ship, at least for a night.
Well, what they did was they at least put their best foot forward. They delivered, up until this point, they delivered a good show. I will be critical of the fact that this is a terrible main event and the crowd are sitting on their hands. And they're following Bryan and Hangman, who just delivered a phenomenal match.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing is you're having stacked match after stacked match. It goes back to even, I guess, to what you said with Clash, of you have to look at what you've got and how you're going to book it and what order you're going to book it in, and where your pops are going to be, where your low spots are. Of if they had started, okay, we're stripping Punk of the title, and we're starting it right off with the first round of the tournament. Fucking all right, we're in here. Granted, the MJF promo was fantastic. If you would have followed that up with Bryan versus Paige, fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, like, dude, I'm sitting here watching our number, and this main event comes on, and our number sagged a little, and I was like, thanks, Tony.
I'm thinking, Tony. I mean, I get a new before we joked if you got, Death Before Dishonor on your birthday. No, I at least get a new AEW World Champion on my birthday.
That's going to be an interesting night.
I still think it's going to end up being this man.
Yeah, I think it eventually
he's playing to a smart audience. Dude, I'm a smart.
But dude, he's so over. Like, babyface heel, doesn't matter. Give him a microphone, put the belt on him, and make people chase him around for the next year.
Oh, absolutely. He's the best on the stick. Like we even talked about when we were starting the show. It's not even
a close race.
He had everybody in the palm of his hand as the best babyface, and then instantly at the drop of a hat, just pulled the rug out from underneath them, and just now I'm the best heel going. And he actually brought the best out of Moxley too.
This one's for you.
That's the award-winning Valdez. Hit record because it's going to be a VHS moment. Valdez has spoken. Oh, JV. Oh.
Yeah, I will give him credit with the Valdez has spoken.
Oh, it's always fun. I do like it. And me and JV seem to always have had a love-hate relationship.
Right. Listen, I don't know what I'm going to do if JV ends up on here too. Shit.
Oh, Lord.
How this goes is a trend.
We'll have to have our own show. Just
guilty. Show up in the chat and start chirping us. We'll pull you in. We're like, we don't want you out
there. I'm still waiting for Victor to hop up here.
Right. Nick with Pat. No, we talked about that.
You all right?
I think Booker T's coming back.
Down right now.
Why and where?
Yeah.
One more match kind of thing?
What? With that one.
I mean, he's still in pretty good shape.
Oh, absolutely. I still like when he did, his Reality of Wrestling, and he came out with the old Harlem Heat gear and everything. Like, he still can go, but I think Booker's just we get it. We're good. Well, we need to stop relying on legends coming back and actually rely on the talent that we have now. Like, I think Seth Rollins actually put out a fantastic tweet earlier about how if you actually look at the in-ring talent we get day to day, week to week, it's phenomenal.
Really is, Nick. And I like that tweet a lot by Seth Rollins because it's something we've always championed here, on our channel was
right.
We watch all the wrestling, and we listen to some of the other podcasters out there who certain things in wrestling are just bullshit and wrong and stupid and whatever. However, for our guys and a lot of the fans out there, if you can allow yourself to go to each place and know what to expect going in, it's no different than tonight I want to watch a comedy. Tomorrow I want to watch a war movie. The day after that I want to watch a fucking whatever, right?
Right. It's supposed to be a variety show. That's the thing. And I think I said it on one of our streams specifically of variety is the spice of life. And that's exactly what happens with professional wrestling is you do get your comedy spots. There is a place for you guys like your Danhausen's, your Santino Morella's, all of that. Right. But it's all on how you work it. It's all on how you write it. It's all on the story that you tell.
Right. I'm always down for a good, every once in a while, give us a good fucking death match tonight, and I'll get into it.
Oh, absolutely. We went from one day to the next day watching GCW and XPW and everything. We literally cover anything and everything when it comes to professional wrestling. But at the end of the day, we still want good storytelling. We still want there to be a good reason behind everything that's going on. It's that suspension of disbelief, but there is still that reality though. You need to know why everything's going on. Why? Go ahead.
No, keep going. I was shaking my finger at Alexander.
Oh, but why everything's going on? I think one of the best matches that we've seen, honestly, in a while was an actual death match, and it was Alex Colon and Rita. I'm blanking on
my
the last
favorite.
name. I do apologize.
Yakashita.
But that was a fantastic match. And then she turned around and wrestled another fantastic match the next night. That's the thing is, it really comes down to storytelling. You can do the basic maneuvers. You can do the 5 moves of doom, and that's what made Hulk Hogan a star. You can do the 5 moves of doom, but as long as the good storytelling's there, you're winning.
Right. Victor points out that it's a 20-minute time limit, and there's 3 judges at ringside.
Who are the judges?
And this is for the Pure Championship, by the way.
Yes, the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, which actually has that unique set of rules about, rope breaks and so on and so forth. 1 rope break only. But so now though, it's interesting. Oh, and we've got both men just going back and forth in a slap fight. He just
I always like the double
slaps him and just
Sorry, go.
No, I thought you were saying something. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying the clap always makes me laugh.
Yeah, and then we just had the one and then just Wheeler just falls back like a fucking ton of bricks. But no, it's interesting. We heard even the stories about like Jonathan Gresham. Of now, it's all these interesting stories that we've heard before of how do they all tie in? How do we all now? Does the puzzle reveal itself?
Well, let us know, Chris. We might have to find you there, buddy.
What?
I don't know. I wait for WrestleManias in Florida, Orlando to be exact. All right.
Oh, that might be a hot minute because I think, we've got a sharpshooter.
Oh,
we've got a sharpshooter in Buffalo. Are we going to get the Buffalo screw job? We've got Yuta grabbing for the ropes. That was a terrible sharpshooter, by the way.
Jericho's not a good actor, which is odd, right? He's been on TV forever.
Who, Jericho?
Yeah, just like he's not good.
No, he's corny.
No, yeah,
100%.
Osprey is good, but he's gone back to Japan. If I was Tony Khan, I would
running for the hills.
I would have given him a shit ton of money. Listen, I just suspended Kenny. Would you like a title shot?
But did you see that New Japan responded the second Jim Ross said on commentary about wanting AEW to sign Osprey? They're like, hold on. No. No, we're going to stop that right now.
Why isn't Miro and Brody King part of the title tournament?
Oh, another deep
Miro for sure.
And Yuta's countering it into a bulldog choke.
Really?
Into a label lock now. But I think Miro and Brody aren't in that because I think honestly, at the end of the day, a certain Maxwell Jacob Friedman's walking away with the title. It's so who can you have that can eat a loss to him potentially and not lose a ton of shine?
Yeah. Miro's not in the tournament. I'm extremely disappointed with how Miro's been booked over the last year. I know he was injured and da-da-da-da. Miro is amazing. And even when we do get little bits of Miro, it's usually pretty good. And that's a guy you could utilize where we talk about another sharpshooter.
Oh, and Yuta's just pulling it. Now it's turned into like he's yanking on.
He's in a bridge almost.
Oh, and Yuta taps. Right. I felt like a weird cheer. So your new reigning, defending Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion in his hometown, Daniel Garcia.
Tony loves Danny.
But he's good.
He is good. You're like, wait.
I saw those. I saw the crowd that they were just showing, that whole section. I saw those hoodies online and everything like that. And that's like a whole squad that was just showing up just to support. I do like that whole, like the hoodies and everything. And we've got Brian right now. So I do think we're going to get Garcia into the BCC.
They didn't bleed. We got to bleed. He's got to bleed. He's not bleeding. He bled before, though.
No, he bled with
Brian. I know.
Blood in, blood out. Oh, Yuta's now like, the hell are you doing here? Oh, handshake.
Oh, wait.
What? Brian takes the title. What? Are we going to still get Brian versus Garcia? What? Oh, Brian's going to put the belt on Garcia. Oh, this man is made in the shade when it comes to BCC.
Right.
Yes, CJ, especially after all this chaos, yes, the hometown needs something to pop for. I don't know. What do you
and this is a JV. Sorry, Nick, but JV made the point. I believe it was JV about they got to develop, and that's one of the biggest tests he has now. Is and we said all the names, Miro, and the list goes on to the guys that we're not seeing. Brody King. What's going to happen with Murphy? But you have to Garcia, Yuta, develop stars,
right? Well, that's the one thing that AEW's always done is had those pillars, like MJF's even called out in his promo. But I do find it interesting that I think, you think Garcia's been overpushed. that to get these guys over, he just more rather than good storytelling, he just pushed them on TV 10,000 times.
I like it, and it's not even so much the push; it's the exposure. Like when Tony's coming out live and saying, you know, we got a lot of talent. It's hard fitting them all into this shit. For me, okay, well then you got to go. You know, Garcia 2 weeks on, 1 week off, or you know, every second week. You got to have some type of lag where A, you can stretch out a story, but B, you can fit the other guys in the slot. So maybe you got certain wrestlers going 1-2. Like what we had the one women's match tonight.
All right.
Okay, so not a lot of representation from the ladies. The last little bit here from TK, but you have an opportunity just to plot your shows better and put it in a better order.
Oh, well, that's absolutely the thing is that
sorry, BattleBots Championship.
Right, yeah, I just said that in the chat because if you've been here, AEW tends to run on into BattleBots, and we've secretly become halfway marks for BattleBots, and we're getting the championship. But no, AEW very much it's Tony had that whole issue of, oh, I don't know how to get everyone on TV. And now the universe has forced his hand of, all right, we're going to take all of your top guys and you have to fucking do something with them. They need to not be on your screen. So now book a better show. This is the type of stuff Tony should have been doing. That's the thing.
CJ says Garcia and BCC, Yuta out. Garcia,
Andrew Asante.
I don't know if Yuta would be out, though.
Yeah, I could see Yuta and Garcia being a tag team, honestly.
Wow. All right.
That would be an interesting tag team, to be honest. It'd be that little technical tag team that they got.
Right. Now, folks, if you're new here, what we do at the end of every show is we ask the fans out there to give us a rating out of 10. We'll also offer our rating out of 10. So what did you think of the show overall? Whatever your bias or basis is, what did you think of tonight's AEW Dynamite out of 10? 7.5 from Damian, 6.5 from Anthony, 7.5 from Edward, 6 from Dale, 6 from Victor.
But I do like this comment too of Murphy should be the next All-Atlantic champion. I'm interested to see what they do with that, especially now that they're the trios champion, and what they do with the House of Black if Malachi's actually quote unquote gotten his conditional release. Or he's injured or he's on a vacation or whatever. Either way, he blew a kiss, took a bow. He said goodbye to the audience. He's not going to be around in AEW for a while.
Yeah, he won't be. So, I mean, I want to see them again. I think there's opportunity there for Murphy to kind of get a push. Brody Lee's a beast. What
about Miro as the All-Atlantic?
I thought he might win the tournament originally, so not a bad.
Right. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Shoot. Go ahead.
I'll go with, I think what I've kind of predominantly seen in the chat and everything is a 7.5. If we're going to get into, splitting hairs in here. I'm very surprised that they were able to deliver a halfway decent show. Honestly, I thought this was going to be the markiest of Marcus shows of they just come out there and just do 2 hours of talking about backstage bullshit. All of 10 people really care about. But it was a good show. And like I said, it started off fantastic with MJF, with having people in the palm of his hand to shitting on them in the next second. And granted, the order, like there was flaws, but it was still a good show overall.
Mm-hmm. I bet you $10 if you took the Adam Page match and Daniel Bryan and flipped it with the Yuta match, the ratings would be higher in the crowd.
Facts.
Because you would have went better. You would have left the show on a higher note, and if it was a good finish, you'd be like, "Oh, Brian!" And it was a more entertaining match.
Do you think that that's placating to your crowd too much? Of that you did the go home, babyface hometown story as the main event versus the bigger for the AEW title tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like I get it. It was a really nice moment. Garcia gets the win at home, and they could have done that in the last segment. Like, Yuta gets a big moment, the crowd's all happy for him, and then they get, the better superstars, the more seasoned superstars, the bigger names finish off the show. That's my take on it. And I mean, I'm maybe being a little picky on it, but it matters because I think if we rode that wave, that match was a little bit flat. And again, it's great when you're you know, an indie promotion that's traveling around, or you know, like an old territory promotion where you are just appealing to that audience. That's all that's watching you is that local audience. So you hype up. But with this, it's your national audience. You're a national program. So not a lot of, like, you know, there's people in the chat that I'm sure were like, fuck Buffalo. Who cares?
Oh, absolutely. That's been honestly one of the biggest problems from AEW from the jump, is that it placates too much to that certain niche audience, that smart mark audience. We've talked about it. That's why you've seen that transition, and why now nothing within AEW has changed. The landscape around them has changed, because now you have all this disenfranchised WWE fans that are like, oh wait, Hunter's in charge of creative now? Oh, let me see what they're about. Oh, they're putting on big shows in Cardiff and everything like that, and they're actually doing good. Oh, okay, I'll watch here. I don't need to watch that now. Oh, they're fighting backstage. Oh, I'm glad I stopped watching that now.
Right.
That's what that is.
Oh, battle bots are coming out. It's just so funny because I remember the first time it came on, and I'm like, this is still a thing? And then just about it, like sitting around talking wrestling, and we got sitting in the background. I'm like, into the bots. I want to know who's going to
say, folks, no one on YouTube is going to give you AEW coverage and BattleBot coverage back to back.
I don't know if I want to promote that. No one outside of the AEW mark. No.
Gave what 5 stars?
Sorry. Yeah, which one? Are you talking about the main event 5 stars? I don't know if that was a 5-star match, bro. Yeah. Come on now.
No.
In the long list of come on now, Melts. Come on, Meltzer.
Meltzer taking a Meltzer driver before he makes those ratings, apparently.
Yeah, but what the I mean, listen, it wasn't a bad match. But it
wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a great match.
How many times did you jump or ooh or ah? Or it was
to me, like you keep saying, of Danielson and Hangman was the better match out of those two.
Neville 2 belts. No.
I'm trying to, but that's the thing, though. I'm trying to think of one better, and I can't.
Right. 7 from the artist. 7.5 from Trey. 6.5. Everyone's kind of coming in that like
right, but I don't think you given yours. I gave mine at a 7.5. What's yours?
You went 7.5. Yeah. You know what? I felt like it was about, you know, hanging around a 6, not to be picky. But I'll give a bonus point for putting on a good show in the face of a good amount of adversity. The show was entertaining. It was compelling. I'm interested in certain things. I'm curious about the tournament. People love a good tournament, so at least we got that.
There's one thing AEW knows how to do.
My pick for the trios tournament finally got the thing, so I think I should get that W back from the night that I got the L. Right? I'll take that back. Thank you.
All right.
No, I mean, it was a good show. Am I being a little picky about just flip the last 2 matches? Maybe, but I just want to see that, you know, I think it would have just rounded the show out nicely. But it is what it is. Danny got a big, you know, the minute you get the special entrance, you kind of think he might win.
Oh, absolutely. But it's interesting to see what they're going to do now. It's okay, you pulled it together for a night, but how do you going forward? Because this is going to have long ripple effects. This is going to have a long lasting effect on this company.
Right. KJ is electromagnetic interference legal in battle bots. I don't believe so. Electromagnetic interference.
The Iron Man?
I don't think so. FTR and Wardlow should be trios champion. I don't. Yes, if they're together, yes. However, I would really like to watch FTR have tag team matches on a regular. I would love if they started a tag team open where, you know, where every couple weeks, not every week, but every couple weeks when they do come out, it's an open challenge and we get new tag teams from everywhere, take them on, and they just fucking
or just have them be a faction. They don't even need to actually exactly be a tag team or win the belts or anything. Just have them be kind of the little remnants of Pinnacle and just have them still be a faction a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JV feels like they did good cabbage control. Good damage control, guys. Miro and King in the tournament. Just wish we had, yeah. Even Christian and Jungle Boy in it. You lost me at the last two, but I don't know what they're going to do with some of these guys. And I think that is, again, my point of people can quit. He's got a lot of wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? Worst case scenario for Tony, he currently, and I mean, if you count all the guys on Dark in that, he could still, he can definitely have like 2 full set rosters plus ROH and still have leftover, even if he lost some right now.
Oh, honestly, yeah, that's the thing is he's got a roster that probably is bigger than WWE's, and WWE runs 3-4 shows a week. Mm-hmm. Tony runs 2 a week.
Right.
FTR are really good. That's the understatement of the century. There's called 7-star FTR for a reason. Those who Dax Wheeler, what? FTR, what? Best
Fight like a girl.
Wrestling, what? See what you've done? But no, those guys absolutely. And it's interesting to me that they're the best tag team right now in AEW, but they don't have AEW's belts.
Right. And I agree. And then kind of, echoing, it's getting late in the stream apparently. Echoing kind of where we're going with this, King here says that he has the greatest, which might be a stretch, but he's got the most plentiful, I think, at this point. AEW will be fine. Other towns can make. This is what I agree with. I really think losing some people that are disgruntled could be good for Tony. He scooped up too many people. Let people shift out and spotlight other people.
He's no longer got certain people in his ear because they're sitting at home on their couch playing their fucking arcade games.
Blowing up his phone, though. Blowing up his phone.
Oh,
really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Tony, I can tell you from experience, put your shit on silent.
Right? Like, really? You let Death Triangle go over our buddies?
Really? That's what you had to win the titles?
Right.
Really?
Couldn't even give Paige a
marks.
TK is a mark at the highest of level. I think you guys are giving him too much credit. He is not smart enough, he's experienced enough in the business to be pulling the wool over the fans' eyes. KJ and Nick. Anthony, you're not wrong.
Oh, no.
This is where I said
KJ winner.
There you go.
I know that's
early favorite for sure.
Right, for mark of the year.
And I want to make it clear. The hopeful wrestling fan in me, for all of our sakes, everybody who can hear my voice right now, if we happen to be sitting here one day,
he's the same KJ right now,
right? But if something popped off that, like, oh shit, like somehow there was, I said it leads to some bullshit. Let's say it did. We're all gonna lose our fucking minds. It's gonna be pretty fucking epic. However, I'm not giving Tony enough credit. The only way something like this even begins to get pulled off is in a think tank room where you have people that really get it and they get that opportunity. But this has all been chaotic. And now that you're stripping titles and okay, we can just go with life goes on and it is what it is. Shockingly, horribly managed company, shockingly, horribly, like the lack of professionalism by so many of the athletes is mind-numbing.
Right. That's the thing is that this is all on public display is still the biggest point to this. This is a reality show unfolding, unfortunately. Right. Even when you because I've listened and read the death of WCW and all of that. Most of that was still you had to be in the know to know. It was all backstage behind the scenes stuff. This is literally on public record. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that post show presser with Punk and just listen to him just lay into the entire EVPs. And then still for them to take that and to think the smart decision, the best play is to sit there and we're going to show up 3-on-1, burst in his door, and we're going to handle this versus talk to our boss.
Right. Yeah, dude. JV. FTR is the best tag team in the world by far. And the
Why?
Acclaim aren't even in the top tier of that discussion yet. They are on a heater. They're doing extremely well. Big fan. I converted Nick to a fan. But let's not get the cart before the horse. Let them win some matches. Let them win some titles before we go, oh, they can. Not yet. Not yet, buddy. A little early. But a big fan of the Acclaimed. Just, they're not FTR.
Right. That's apples to oranges right there. If the Acclaimed is the New Age Outlaws, the FTR is the Dudley Boys, Jeff Hardy, Christian, and Edge all rolled into one.
Right. I hope Kenny gets fired. I don't see it happening. Kenny Olivier. I don't want to hijack his shit. You picked.
Oh no, I still like it. I still very much love the another one bites the dust, because that's the thing.
Right.
Ace Steel was the fucking, unsung hero, I guess, in all of this. Of the man's throwing chairs, the man's biting people. This man was about it.
Well, imagine though.
I hope you have one of your a friend like that in your life that's about it.
You're fucking hanging out in the hallway, shooting the shit. The funniest thing is, we didn't fucking know, or at least like maybe the smart fans knew, but the general public didn't really fucking know who Ace Steel was up until about a week ago.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this guy's like,
he's there.
Picking up contracts, slapping Punk, throwing chairs, biting Kenny, fired. What? Best career ever. Like 1 week in and out.
Right. Think about it. This man in his entire AEW career has now technically been the holder of an AEW world title contract, bitten Kenny Omega, and thrown a chair and knocked out Nick Jackson. If there is not, a magnum opus of an AEW career.
Agreed. No, man, that's too funny. Like, literally, Ace, he comes to the story. But, like, I get, like, the story I heard and I talked about was, literally this, Ace's wife is hanging out with Larry, the dog.
Yeah.
Like, what was Larry? Maybe it was Larry that bit somebody. Like,
right, Larry. Larry has been cleared of all charges. I just want that.
If Larry had bitten one of them, that dog would have been put down by now. They would have had that dog executed.
That way. Oh shit!
He bit me. Kill him.
I was about to say, why wasn't Larry like the one that's like, "I've got you, Dad"?
Right.
Just sick the dogs on him, Punk.
Right. The wife screams and like Ace comes running in. Imagine if you ran in a room and at least 3 guys are beating up your buddy. You're probably going to start throwing chairs and biting people, right? Like,
I was going to say, Punk, you've already been associated with Hounds of Justice before. So when you have a literal hound beside you, why not stick that pupper loose?
Right. Part of me kind of hopes that Brandon Cutler had his camera on him when all this happened.
Well, I like that. I think you were even the one that's like, whoa, no one's got it on film. No one's got any pictures. Right. Well, because there's legal proceedings. This is is going to be the Johnny Depp Amber Heard of professional wrestling. Is CM Punk versus Kenny Omega in court.
Some grainy phone video of some guy that was sneaking around the corner.
480p.
And maybe not the fight, but like the separation or like Nick's black eye, like somebody seeing him. There's no evidence that this really did take place, but I digress. It seems
now, are you surprised?
How big of a bitch do you have to be, first of all? To fight somebody?
This man.
Why?
I was like, you know what? They're up here ranting still. I said, let me just join in right quick, damn it. No, but how big of a bitch do you have to be to bite another man? Like, what the fuck?
All affairs in love and war.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. If you're down on, listen,
ain't nothing illegal in a street fight.
If I end up,
Kenny didn't do nothing though. He tried to.
You don't know that? You didn't see that?
Kenny said he tried to take the damn dog out the room.
Oh well, Kenny said, "Yeah, okay."
Kenny was honestly the most peaceful out of all this.
That's generally what happens.
That's what he said. See,
Kenny said, defended. "What did you do? I didn't do anything." Okay, go home. Thank you.
Kenny, I mean, I read the report again because they got their side of it first now. And he told me all Kenny did was try to get the dog out the room because the dog was going nuts, basically.
I bet it was.
And next thing you know, the motherfucker got bit.
You have 3 people break into your room while you're trying to calm down and wind down and everything.
Kenny got bit by the dog.
That action, like, when I see you, I see you.
Right.
When I see you, it's on site.
It's literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Like, you got bit by another man, bit another man, and
so
pulled
what
his
do you
hair.
think, though, CJ, that it's the
And pulled his hair. I like that
involved as
part.
well.
Pulled my hair.
Wait, what did you say, Nick?
I said, so what do you think, though, that it's the EVPs getting involved as well? Like, these aren't just guys in the locker room. This isn't like if Evil Uno and Stu Grayson or anybody sat there and tried to take issue with Punk. This is the guys that are the EVPs of this company. This is management showing up. This is like if you showed up to your work and your boss came up and just said, I'm about that action, and just said, run them hands, like, and just started to square up with you.
I'm like, hold on, let me clock off.
All right.
But no, it just proves your point that the EVPs need to be terminated. Simple as that. Not saying from the wrestling perspective.
They need that title strip.
Exactly. They need to be stripped. Simple as that. So that's that, man. That's that.
Right.
But the good thing about it is we can't go ahead and finish this conversation tomorrow. I'm ready for tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie.
Tomorrow's gonna be
I'm
fun.
So excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not tuned into Let's Rumble, it's our weekly podcast here on Thursdays. We keep a little corner of our eye out on Impact sometimes, but not really. But we do our weekly Rumble. I try not to.
The doo-doo.
You do what the do. But yeah, tomorrow we're got it.
Oh man. All right, I'm done.
So we are going to be doing Let's Rumble tomorrow, and as you can see, there's a lot to talk about. And if you want to watch the fellas completely step on each other and scream and yell and get out all our frustrations from the week, tomorrow is the place to be. Join the chat, join the conversation. Let us know your opinion, your take. But yeah, I'm looking forward. Tomorrow, there's so much to talk about.
Literally.
Oh Christ! Well, I'm ready for it right now. Like, we could literally do that right now.
No, Graffiti Walker talking about Kenny tastes like hairspray. Damn, I was about to say he tastes like cold spray.
tastes like Aquanet.
I don't know, bro. I hope Ace still got fired for that, because I would be pissed.
That's the funny thing is,
it was Larry.
No one's technically been fired from this.
I hope it was Larry, though.
Backstage meeting after backstage meeting.
It was Larry, and Kenny's just trying to get Ace fired.
Hey, if it was Larry, I would feel way much better about myself. But
instead of Son of Sam, we got Son of Larry.
Man, I would pay solid money to get some footage of this brawl, because I'm guaranteed it looked like a shit show. There's a dog, there's Ace's wife, there's Christopher Daniels, Brandon Cutler, knock it off, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, what a shit show. Chairs.
I'm waiting for the dark side of the ring, or the audiobook or something.
A little early.
Or the broken skull sessions. I think I sent it to the group chat and everything of we're gonna end up, if Punk walks, how quickly do you think Hunter snatches him up? Just even, I don't give a shit if you win a match. Just go out there and just talk. Just let the people know about what it's like to win.
I said that. I said, listen.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Would that be would that be Triple H's Eric Bischoff, Vince McMahon moment, where Triple H comes out and says, you know, to some smart ass champion, I got a fucking surprise for you, and Punk walks out and they shake hands, and the wrestling world goes, oh, like
right, well, things that make you go, ugh.
Like, I think it blow. Like, I mean, if you could put business first. And Punk had a big enough chip on his shoulder by what just happened here, and Triple H goes, the pipe bomb's not about me this time. Here you go.
I could see it. I could legit see it.
I could too.
You open Raw with that.
The problem is
you start off with, that's the first time Hunter's out there and everything, and he starts talking and everything. You get, enough buzz. Twitter starts, trending upwards and everything, and then you hit, like Mussolini and all that.
Yeah, but Tony owns that, right? Did he buy the rights to that one? So
I don't think he bought the rights to that one. Even then, you still got this Fire Burns. You've still got like AFI. Got 18 million theme songs.
What you talking about? The CM Punk's theme song? I think CM Punk owns that song.
Oh,
because he was able to transfer it, and you know how the whole Cody situation is. I think it's like that.
Yeah. Right.
I hope so. I hope it's like that. It will make sense. Because isn't the people that sung that song dead?
No.
No.
Oh shit!
Wait.
I thought one of them were dead.
Living Color's still alive. They've still performed that
Yeah.
song live.
You know that what's scary about the whole thing that I could have turned into another Bruiser Brody. I don't know. Different
What?
times. I don't think anyone was going to stab anybody in the shower.
Yeah, no one's getting that shooty. Like I said, I still halfway picture like the Young Bucks like skipping like this is fucking Grease as they're walking down the Punk's like locker room.
The Napoleon Dynamite gift that you sent the other day, right?
No,
Just
to me, it's like Bart and Lisa Simpson of like, I'm gonna just start swinging my arms like this, and if you so happen to walk into it, and I'm gonna just start doing this, like that was not a fight.
No, Punk's got all eyes on AEW, so that's all everyone's talking about right now.
I'm with Victor. I am ready to see the ratings for tomorrow. Like, I can't wait to see that shit. Because I seen the channel ratings was up, so you can only imagine AEW being at like 45 million now. Hey, they can be somewhere with it, damn it. You'll never know. That'd be crazy as hell, though.
Yeah, I just wish the main event was a little better. That's all.
What? You didn't like it?
It's not a 5-star match, that's for sure.
What?
It was good, but it was good. It was in the wrong spot. Coming off a really good match right before it.
Who fought before them?
Bryan and Paige.
Oh, wasn't a good match.
It was a really good match.
Tony, if you need a consultant team, we've got how to make that work. But us three right here, absolutely, we can write you better. In the 2.5 hours or so that we're watching your show, we can write you a better storyline.
Question for everybody here. Do you guys think that the Acclaim should win next week?
Yes.
They should have won, honestly, at All Out. Much like MJF, they should have won at All Out. That crowd was as hot as it's going to be.
And that's why I was going with. They should have won on that day, but now if you put them in a match now and they win, it's kind of stupid because it's like, Tony's only doing it for ratings. And that's kind of
there's a lot for ratings.
Yeah. See, no women.
Right.
Well, we got Punk Mox for ratings. We've got Ospreay and United Empire versus the Elite for ratings.
3 days. That's a good point. 3-day reign.
I'm just upset that boy, the Wizard, used his wizard abilities and spoiled the match for us. His promo, like, what the hell? When I heard it in the car, I was like, bruh.
I am Gandalf the Mark. That's
right.
Chris Jericho's wizard name.
Right.
Well, terrible. Now he's what did he say? He's the Bewee something.
Oh, that's what he was trying to say.
The EVBC?
The EVBC.
EVBC. I thought I was like, he's taking a shot at the EVP.
It sounded like it, right? And then he took a little shot at Punk.
He did. Fucking MJF cutting his promo about the WWE. Like, was that shit? Was that?
Yeah, what did you think about MJF? Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know if he should have said that shit.
That's why he says it, because it puts us in that place of, oh shit, did he do that? Yeah, he did.
I'm saving the rest of my words for tomorrow because we doing the Rumble right now.
We're going to bed.
Like, I remember doing that. Jericho needs to retire. No, he needs to be a wizard. I think Jericho.
Well, he can retire and be a fucking wizard instead of a wrestler. Fucking go hang out with Gandalf. Stop.
Right.
Who the fuck is that?
Go teach Harry Potter. I'm sure Hogwarts might be hiring.
You know why? Because I'm a wizard.
Well, now he's the world's best
the sports entertainer who lived come to die.
Man, that shit. I need some more reports. I need to see the official report of Punk being fired.
CJ's our resident, news.
I'm the news wizard.
He is the gumshoe of the channel. He's always digging through the news there.
Detective CJ.
If anyone's going to find out information there, but ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head towards the door because we will be back repeating ourselves if we keep going. So not to spoil tomorrow's show because you can imagine where we're going to head with it. There is some WWE shit to talk about as well. Overall, not a bad night of wrestling. Noteworthy, newsworthy. Good job on Tony for delivering a decent quality show in light of all the chaos. Good news is he's got a lot of wrestlers to do it with, guys. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye to the fans?
You know what happens?
What happened?
We gotta go beat up John Cena. Trent to Edward.
Beat up
We'll
John
stop
Cena.
We make that a new stick on the channel. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right?
You know what the Wrestling for Life Networks does when they go off air?
Beat up John
Beat
Cena.
up John Cena. All right, enough of that shit.
Right.
That is not looking area. There you go already.
All right, folks. Remember, go check out Alt Wrestling Tees on Instagram, or you can reach out at altwrestlingtees@gmail.com. Or just, go to Redbubble. You can use the code Not Just. I still believe that's a thing. He's going to punch me if it isn't, but go check out our t-shirts. You have the What t-shirt. The What t-shirt.
What?
The What t-shirt.
What?
All right. The Mr. Every Night t-shirt.
What?
The CJ Cut the Shit t-shirt.
What?
You can also save $20 at SeatGeek when you use the code Wrasslin.
What?
We are the Wrasslin for Life Network.
What?
Now after these, the messages. No. But yeah,
What?
Tourette's.
Said a what attack.
Tourette's moment of the night.
Right. I'll put that back on for a second. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. That is Mr. CJ Brand. That is Big Nick. I am KJ White. We love doing this so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Friday, doubleheader Friday. Don't miss out. Like, subscribe. Do keep in mind, we're going to have a big fun stream here for Mr. Nick's birthday coming up in the future. And we will crown a new champion of AEW at that time. You wanted to say something, sir? I think you put your hand up.
No, I was
You in the front?
I was egging you on. You got it.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tonight. Good luck, TK, the rest of the way. And we will see everyone on the flip side.
Peace.